Good. I know it's not, but it feels like it.
You're live.
Thank you. Are you asking or are you telling?
No, I'm telling.
Okay. Good.
It's working.
Thank you. It's working! Thanks, Anakin. That was the best thing to do in the prequels, wasn't it? Let's have a, kid actors. That makes sense.
Yeah, especially when Padme was the same.
Yep.
An inappropriate joke. Portman.
So, here we are, live now. Colin.
What?
Good hello, everybody! Welcome to the invasion, eventually. Session 35? Is that what we're on? Yeah, 36. That was it. That's the one. That's the number. 36. Execute session 36. And it is the 20th of January, 21. A happy Well Done America Day. And let's hope this ages well. And I don't regret saying that. Given the level of hold my beer the last 2 years are likely to indicate. So, yeah, I'm Ryan, the GM, until I'm impeached. And here are the players.
Hi everyone, my name is Gregor. I play Adair. He's an Air Genasi who is the leader of the group. And yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know right now. We finally did a good roll last week. Hey!
Hey! My name's Dylan, and I'm playing a changeling who's playing a bard. What is the term? I've completely forgotten the
Tiefling?
race. Tiefling, thank you. Tiefling named Xarxus.
Good evening, my name is Alexander, and tonight I will be playing Fleabite the Skaven. Still pretty terrible at it.
Good evening, I am Colin. I will be playing tonight Vanger, who is a dwarven, beastie, lurky, very guide person. Hello, chat.
Clone, maybe. Yeah. There is a spell in the game called Clone. By the way, it's a very, very useful spell.
So it's spelled clone, but it's pronounced clone.
Terrible. Terrible.
Oh, and it is necromancy.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I like how you're straight again. Clone, you say? Type. Yeah.
Path to many powers.
Oh dear. So, is it possible to learn these powers and not from a Jedi? But yeah, it's a very, very, very good spell, and it's usually the end game for most of my characters that I'll make, is getting access to that somehow. Because it's the way to immortality, essentially, without having to go through lichdom, Do you know some people are not that against, Colin?
It's cool. More people should do it. Like smoking.
Have you ever seen the YouTube videos that go into from all the editions of how you actually had to, what the steps were to becoming a lich in the religion? Yeah, I think you'd probably find them quite interesting, but they are horrific in terms of atrocities you have to commit for reagents.
Sometimes you gotta.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like a few eggs.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes you have to break a few younglings.
Yeah.
But the eggs, in many ways, are no.
Anyway, what do you remember from last time? Wow.
I don't know.
We
So much.
finalized some plans,
Mhm.
which I had written down.
We went back to the Witherspoon.
Yes, it's the end of day 3.
Yes.
Was something
That's correct.
significant that I noted down.
Yes, because day 4 involves his date. Yes.
Yes, which is.
You got another date?
No, this
Oh,
is
come on.
this is the date he organised.
Oh, okay. The theater one.
Believe it or not, she's actually still going to go in that, apparently.
To see Warrow, or whatever the fuck the play was called.
Well, she's not.
Oh dear.
Wario?
It was definitely Warrow because it was meant to be like Walternate Zorro. Like, it was just dumb.
Oh
got-
my god. They're going to see. Oh,
Yeah,
Brian.
yeah, not subtle.
So, the Mask of Moro. the Mask of Moro.
The Whisk of Moro!
They'd put Waro in Arkham.
Anyway, so, anything else that you recall that you might want to catch your
We
buddy up on?
totally met up with that guy. Yes,
Sure.
I've forgotten his name. I have it
Butcher
written down
Eric,
for- Yes,
which
him.
sounds like some sort of horrific.
Utior, not Uchor.
Victor.
Utior.
Yeah.
Um, we totally, well, Fleabite and him got into a drinking game.
It was terrific.
It was interesting. Fleabite nearly drowned. He nearly drowned on alcohol. It was
Hmm.
in a bucket. Little Bellinor might be wiped out. We don't know. There's not been word from them in a long time. Oh yeah, it's all coming back to me once I've done my note.
A certain Fleabite had an encounter with a certain lady that a certain Xarxes has been wooing.
I'm not crazy.
Well,
It's maybe just that
It's
you're not the.
mutually exclusive.
Yeah, you're not just the only crazy one. This may be inaccurate.
yeah, good, you know?
Now everyone will believe me.
We got some useful information, I think, from Eric,
Sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
which was regarding the alleged curse of the noble family.
I did enjoy the
Terra
RP of
and-
that. That was fun to RP. It was
It was. I
Cra-
enjoyed it
crazy
thoroughly.
drunk man. Yeah.
And I've forgotten their name.
Host
Ca-
Calistris.
Calastris, yeah.
Yes, House Remus. Calastris, who had the crest of a wolf,
Yeah.
and apparently the curse, which was inflicted upon them, was to turn them into wolves, and similar curse may have been inflicted upon the House of Terra. The House Lupercal, maybe. Yeah, that's another option. That House Lupercal is actually quite a good joke because that's quite close to Horus. Multiple levels of pun. Lupercal, by the way, is the
Stay on target.
sorry. I can't. I
Very
don't-
on target.
Yes. So the continuations of involvement between the families, which led to the duel. So it was the librarian's dad that allegedly killed Cairo Optera.
Yeah, Wichiro, yeah.
Chiro, sorry, who allegedly was the last of his line.
Mhm.
But if there were others about, they would be werebats.
Hmm.
So there you
Uh.
go. Because we met one that did a bat screech and lived with bats and claimed he was a member of the line.
Like, you missed a lot, to be fair.
Yeah. Wait, so they
It was
would be bats?
mostly.
As in the bats you killed were previously people?
I mean, probably. I mean, that's what Vanger's thinking. We're trying to work that out.
Is yet to be
But-
decided.
Look, you can't stop and interrogate every animal that accosts you and go, "Excuse me, were you at any point in the past a person? Are you now or have you ever been a human?"
You could, because you're a
Yeah, some of them would look at you crazy.
Yeah,
Huh.
right.
My artistic integrity is under fire. I don't like it. Okay, yeah, so the summary was the cave went badly. That's it, right? So from what, because you obviously missed 2 sessions, Xerxes. So the cave went very badly, and thus ends my opinion about that. Oh no, it's only because you were half asleep through the last set. That was, yeah, okay. You've missed one full session's what you've missed.
Yeah.
Okay, no, so you know the cave went badly. That's fine. You know that part.
Yes, I do.
And then, yeah, it was mostly just literally most of the plot of Evershade that was discovered last week. Okay, cool. Perfect. About the curse. Or the rumours of the curse, at least. And
The curse of the wolf. Let's be specific.
you were very eager for that. But yes, so it does seem like there was some inappropriateness with the Thaki house and Chiro Optera. He seemed to be after the hand of the daughter of the Thaki house as well. That led, I know, right? I mean, it's a lot to go to waste, to be fair. But yeah, and then, you know, Daddy Thaki was like, no happening. And then there was Jewel. There was also some kind of teaming up between the Optera house and the Kalastras house to take out the Tonans, right? To oppose their rule. Yeah.
Obviously unsuccessful.
Yeah, evidently. And that seems to be, you know, in some way all tied to the curse. And exiled houses. And the old Chiro estate, the old Optera properties were repurposed, and that's what the Thaki library is. So, yeah, loads, to be fair, happened while Fleabite and Utior dunked their heads in tandem in a bucket, drinking the craziest concoction of Cynthia tea and crushed up earth elemental snuff dust, and bad booze, quite frankly. And then, Alexander, do you want to tell them what happened after that? Or during that, I guess?
I mean, Levites may have had an encounter with a being you have encountered.
Being. She has a name.
I can't remember what Fleabite's name for her is. It's like head thing, mother or something.
Jewel teeth.
Yeah,
Currency.
jewel fang. Or something.
Currency.
Currency mouth.
Wow.
Mhm.
And she seemed a bit interested in where Fleabite was from, and was somewhat curious of what Fleabite could maybe do to assist her, and what Fleabite, or yeah, I think that was more of the gist, that maybe she could help, or if Fleabite helped with.
There was a whole life coaching session she gave you about, you know, you've succeeded more when you've been giving things away than when you've been taking things. That was her point she really made to you, to be fair. And that was it. Left you with that wisdom.
Point sure to be taken in.
And mostly what happened was Fleabite left that wisdom on his side of the vision. Or sorry, on her side of the vision, and then left. Yeah. For Cynthia.
She gave Fleabite a lot to think about.
But will he think about it?
It depends if there's like a butterfly that distracts.
Especially if it's got green wings, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a good enough recap, I think. That's something, at least. Goals. Here's what's in place. Okay, yeah, that sounds like
Real quick.
noises.
Tell me, who was it that killed Lord Chiro?
It was Victor von.
Oh, alright.
Do you mean in the supposed duel?
Yeah, in the duel. In the duel.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Okay.
that was
The guy who claims to have been the Optera that we encountered in the cave was. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that was Chiro, but it may not be.
It's a very popular name.
I think he was the one that died in the duel. That's what I have in my notes. Lord
Yes.
Chiro died in a duel
And
50
that,
years ago.
and yeah, so
Do we know who killed him?
I was
Who
gonna say,
killed him?
does anybody remember the name of who killed him?
I thought you said it earlier.
Lord Escurinus or something.
That one. That bastard.
Let me go and
Belvedere Thaki.
Iscanros Boulevard Theke.
One of the Thackies got it.
Yeah.
Lord Wilwerlen.
IBT. That's who. Lord IBT.
But,
Ibit.
okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Just curious.
I'll type it back in the chat for people, because, yeah. Lord,
I wrote it down, but I can't say it.
Lord Iscanros Boulevard. It's a very cromulent name. I don't know why it's so hard to say.
Hmm.
There you go.
Name that exists everywhere, really.
Weirdly, I imagine him being kind of like, red of hair and facial hair bound, to be fair there, Alexander. So,
I thought the second last word was Bolvar. Bolvarte, I guess.
Boulevard. Yeah. Because apparently that part of his name happens to be slightly French.
Wait, was the duel 50 years ago?
Yeah.
Right, how old's this lassie that I'm going on a date with?
Right?
She's the old librarian maid. Oh no. You described her as Eva Green. Or...
I did describe her as Eva Green. You're right. Yeah, and I also have, if you note who told you these dates and times,
Is that Alexandra Smogreen?
I think so. But anyway, not to derail Colin.
I can't make it out. It's a small picture. Sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, it's Bolvar for Dragon.
Oh, it's Bolvar for Dragon, right? I thought you'd posted Smogreen. It looked red hairish to me, but
It does look red hairish to me as well.
my eyes are bad.
Right, so, goals then. Unless there's any other questions from
Oh,
Delan.
yeah, those.
Mhm.
Good, Dylan?
Mhm.
Cool. Right, so, the general goals are as clear as ever. Zaki, Optera, Calastris, Tonin connection to box. Yep. We all know where that's
Clear as
going. Yep.
Clear as-
Attempt to recover box from cave. I also love how nobody told him about the letter. That's fine, we'll get to that. Prepare for Barris. Find out what the package was. Enlist Utu or Urik to help in Barris quest. And
Yeah, you can embarrass the quest.
personal goals. Adair has impress Lady Izazith Ubis Thaki. Xarxus has win Cynthia's heart. Fleabite,
cute.
yeah, right. Fleabite has find out how to make signature / unique poison or potion. Poison or potion.
I like how Adair and I are just playing dating simulator.
Hey,
Yeah, the first two goals there are the ladies.
to be fair, right, I'm a GM that's willing to cater to many types of gaming, okay? Evidently. Should definitely be charging for
I
this.
don't know. I think Adair just realised how old this lassie is, so mine maybe changing.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I think
Just,
I think maybe you're now realising why the dad dueled him in the first place.
Or
Maybe.
that, yeah.
Yeah. Also, it was about 50 years ago, I believe was my exact wording. Learn more about giant bats. This is Vanger's goal. When did they appear? Always big and aggro, connected to the Optera line? Question mark. Which is almost done. Almost. You've got a lot of bat knowledge now, which is good. Assuming Colin can reply and hear and talk and
I
such.
can never reply. Yes, I agree that it is coming along a fair amount, and I think it is
Mhm.
due for a completioning soonly.
Agreed. So, based on that, we'll jump straight in to where we are, which is you guys in an abandoned building, huddling for warmth after having read a letter that you delivered kind of to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Get my map back.
yeah. So, let's open there, right? So that's where we ended the last scene, and it was you staring at the letter that you'd paid Falcon to deliver.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
hey, good job putting her to work.
We try.
She also got 2 cardigans out of the deal.
Yeah, she
Oh, good.
You know, we're feeding and clothing your kid, dude.
She's gonna go back as like a rich kid to all of her friends.
Yeah.
Right. So we are at that scene, and yes. So I am reading the letter, and I realised what's happened. So I think I'm just gonna scrunch the letter up and use it for kindling, if we can find wood to start a fire,
Why are we doing that?
because it's cold and we need.
Can we just
warm-
go home?
No,
Or home? Go back to the inn?
no, we're staying here with what's his name, Lyric.
Utior Eric.
Oh yeah, that's true. We might as well make a fire for him.
It's an
Otherwise-
I, not an L, FYI. It's Eric, not Lyric. Yeah.
Lyric.
Mhm.
Lyrics.
It's like earache, because you'll talk your ear off.
Haha.
I thought that might be. fun,
It's not,
but I
actually,
couldn't
it's
figure it
just
out, so-
just conveniently after the fact was a convenient pun.
Well, so are you.
Thank you.
Anyway, I'll use a roll to help with that.
Oh dear.
If you're gonna say something.
Wait a
about
minute,
it.
wait a minute, wait a minute.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I hate to bring rolling into one of your games, right?
There you go. Roll
but
away.
If you're gonna make a fire for him, I can try and scavenge any like little bits and bobs, like a broken chair leg here.
Doesn't Fleabite have a whole bunch of his broken boat?
Yeah, like Fleabite has a
I mean,
lot
I-
of
how
broken.
do you know that?
Fleabite has a lot of wood because remember he dismantled the cart and put a chunk of the cart also in his bag? Like
Yeah, but those are good, useful planks, not just firewood.
Also, I don't think I have any idea the depths of what lies in that.
also the
Exactly.
reason why Fleabite that's still good advice is because he knows you've got wood, and if you've got good wood, then you would suggest not using that and suggest using the bad wood that you have, right?
You also have.
The sacrificial wood, as it were. It's so fucking ridiculous to have stated all of that. Would that it were. So anyway, Vanguard, do you turn to Bag of Holding Fleabite?
No, as I say, no, I don't think I would.
Because there's nothing broken in here. You'd be having to
Oh,
break
okay.
things.
Right, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, in that case, I would say. Do you have anything we could use for kindling in that bag of yours?
Am I here?
No.
Okay,
You're not.
just making sure.
They are suspiciously in the place that you met them in originally.
Where we noticed that there isn't a business.
Yeah. Theo's business is a fraud. What Adair would would say to Wagner, do not worry about Kindles getting fire started. I have a paper here that we can burn to get going. We need timber. We need wood to keep fire going. We need the big bits of wood. Dry wood.
I continue to look at me like, you got any big bits of wood? Any dry wood?
I think Fleabite would think for a minute, scroll through various inventories that he has.
Scroll through. Yeah.
Um,
The top of his bag has got a list of everything on it. isn't it?
Mhm, mhm.
I have two lists. And eyes narrow a bit and look past the good wood. Remember the wood. And somewhat reluctantly take out some bits of small. Well, yeah, I guess some small bits of wood for burning in.
Mhm.
Like, is there an actual fireplace?
It was asked last time. Yeah, there's a fireplace. Yeah.
Start-
Most of these old buildings have fireplaces, Alexander. Come on.
Yeah, but we know half of this place is fake anyway.
I'm going to spoil it for you. All of this place is fake. I made it up.
Meta.
And start making a small stack of
Sure. Yeah.
using
So,
broken rowboat bits.
yeah, I assumed it was the bits of the rowboat that you were using. Also, wouldn't it be funny if this was actually just that special cave that Adair found, and you had just never left it, but you met like a random guy in there, and the whole thing's been just like a weird mushroom
Well-
delusion?
Move like some. Yeah, and move like around the tables or what have you, the furniture, whatever furniture exists there.
Table,
as that
chairs.
was,
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Then just move them sort of in a pattern to give a bit of a windbreak.
Hmm.
Because I imagine it's probably not.
You could
the
tip. You could tip the
warmest building.
table over. Yeah, you could tip the table
Yeah.
over to make like a kind of almost barrier that you could put your backs against and be facing the fire. Yeah.
I'm
Look at your
mostly doing
look at
that.
your real life survival skills. Look at that.
Is Utir conscious?
No.
Or did he pass?
No.
Yeah, he passed out.
Yeah, he's KO'd. He like. Remember, he went with Fleabite until he was like Cynthia'd away. Remember? I don't know if you do.
Yeah.
But he went into the weird like rock floating through space with green energy holding other rocks together space where him, Fleabite and Cynthia were, and then Cynthia went, go away, and he just like turned to dust and vanished. Yeah. That happened.
So he's not unconscious since then, has he?
No,
like,
he's just been really drunk since then.
What I've learned is to not piss off my girlfriend. Got it.
A lot of assumptions in that sense, but yeah, sure. Okay.
I
Oh dear. I mean, to be fair, Fleabite ran away from his girlfriend, so. Oh dear. Yeah, so you just get a fire going. That's not going to be that difficult considering your capable skills. I won't make you roll,
Nice.
Adair, don't worry.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
you-
wanted to roll the. No, it's fine.
What would you roll though? Don't you have the ability to just make fire happen? Or do you not
I mean,
have
yeah.
that?
I mean, I do because I have like a. So.
I was going to say, magic! The magic of industry.
I don't even need to. Probably use some sticks as well. I'm getting decent survival, so I could
Mhm.
probably just.
But why don't you roll then? Let's see how well it goes for you. You can roll.
Yeah, I've got a few points.
This
Oh
is
no,
forever.
because I'm still working with disadvantage. I trip up and fall into the fireplace.
You set Utir on fire, like it's terrible. At least you're warm for a bit. Yeah, like
And Dude's warm for the rest of his life.
it's very yeah. You sure you wanted to have rolled? You know?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, it's not exactly that.
No. So does somebody else want to roll survival to get the fire going? Let's hear. In fact, Adair, you should do it to try and redeem yourself.
Oh, thanks, Ted.
Go roll
like-
20! The curse!
Let me check. I'm on normal. Let's see.
Yeah, because you don't have any exhaustion, it's just them that still got exhaustion.
Let's breathe.
Huh.
And skittish. Ugh.
Wow. Fleabite!
You're all gonna freeze to death.
No, I'm gonna go back to my hotel.
You'll have to be the hero again. You'll have to be the bestest, heroist Fleabite there is.
Okay, I do just straight up have like fire making.
So does
I mean, so do
Vanger.
I, but
I think
we're
we all
rolling.
did.
He asked to roll, I could have hand waved it, but we're rolling now. So let's just see how you do, because, you know, I know you've got exhaustion, buddy, but why not? Let's just see what happens. You're also really flammable yourself, given how much you've drank. So,
Oh, this is gonna go good.
Can I use my what's it called?
green flame
My
blade.
piece of parchment from Mystics and Miscellany, the advertisement as
Like additional
an
kin.
improved Tinder to.
I mean, you can definitely use that if you want to burn that. Yeah, why not? Mechanically, though, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to be something you can also burn. I think the difficulty is you may just pass out and put your head into the pile of wood because of how exhausted
Does
you
no
are.
one there have prestidigitation?
I just feel like it's cold, so they're all distracted. It seems.
Okay, okay.
And a little tipsy
I
from
mean,
the
I'm probably not in very good shape.
Like they do have multiple levels of exhaustion from they died in a cave and Von
And
Rune
it's-
saved them. hmm
Not much, but like, if I need.
It's been a busy day.
Adair's fine, apart from a little tipsy, but you know how he rolls. You'll get one a month.
So
Oh my god.
you don't start a fire, I guess is what happens. What do you do as a backup plan?
Huddle.
Together.
Because Yeah. The dice have spoken. They don't want you to have fire.
Let's see.
And probably resting in poor conditions won't get rid of your exhaustion, sadly. I figured, but yeah.
I mean, to be honest, like he can. Vanger isn't that fussy, but
I mean, I
I
guess.
really don't have any fire spells.
The closest thing I've got is Green Flame Blade, which does cause fire damage.
That's why I said it earlier when you were
I
looking
do
at
have
the
a
stuff.
tinderbox and 10 torches.
I mean, shall we just decide that the fire's lit and we'll never let Colin suggest rolling ever again? Is that what we'll do?
I mean, look, sometimes it's fun to roll things.
Yeah, I agree. But when two of you are exhausted and one has the curse of roll 20,
Versus-
like, yeah. And ironically, a tiefling would have been super handy for anything fire-based, but he's not even a tiefling.
Wow. I'm all right.
But yeah, anyway, so we hand wave away that everybody just has a go at making the fire in some comedic kind of way where everybody realises how exhausted or drunk they are. Yeah, yeah, and then things get lit up. Or it'd be hilarious if Utior got up and went, "Oh, it's a bit chilly," lit the fire, and then went back to sleep as well. Like, that is funny. Let's roll. Can he do that?
Just roll a d20.
No,
Oh.
no, he can't.
Oh.
So it's definitely just hand waved away that you eventually get it lit. So yeah, like, what's the plan? Right? Is it to rest here, or is it like what is the goal?
Because if we went back to Madame Emerald's, we probably have to pay for him, and no. Whereas we
Yeah, because you're so hard up for money.
I know, right? But we came here. We discovered that Theo's. You know, it's good to find out Theo's maybe a bit of a fake. We're paying for services, not getting. Blah blah blah. I don't know. I want my map back. Now I would say the four of us just crash here, or we could just straight up leave Utor, but then
It
we-
probably would be very nice to leave.
yeah, because we are hopefully going to be using him to get to Barris, or at least get info, because he seems to be the man in this flight. No, even though we
Helping
lost.
keep him alive probably is good. For
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
So I'd say just stay here tonight, get you guys back to normal, and then we'll start day 4.
It will be normal, but it'll be closer to normal.
Closer.
Yeah.
Because these are still on 3 levels at the moment.
I think
Yeah.
Vanger's probably like fallen asleep, sprawled over like a chair, a
Mhm.
tipped over chair
Mhm.
at this point.
Yeah. Maybe as part of your way of making a windbreaker with the rest of the furniture, you just collapse over it and drift
Yeah.
off. Yeah. Fleabite tucked up on the fire, or what's the?
Yeah, pretty close, like
Mhm.
curled up.
Mhm.
Oh,
Keep.
I like rats.
And a dare. Do you just go back to the hotel room, or?
I will stay with the lads, but I'm gonna just do a wee check around this place, just to see if there's maybe anything we've missed. Because we did think it was Theo's office, whereas now we find a vacant building. So I'm
Okay.
just gonna rummage around, see if I can find anything. Get a wee heads up. Is it for rent? Is it abandoned? Is it? empty?
Sure, do you want to roll an investigate check then for me?
Done. Oh, come on.
Uh,
the fire. There's a fire here.
So it's you actually find a bunch of tinder boxes in the back, and some dry firewood, some coal.
Yep.
No, you're in the dark, and when you go to like explore anywhere that isn't that front room, right? And that's the problem that you face, is that it's dark, and you don't have dark vision, do you?
No.
So
No.
yeah.
And I guess my lantern's probably back at the room. I wouldn't be carrying that around. with me
Probably,
anyway.
yeah. You wouldn't have went to the pub with it, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So yeah,
I probably
so,
don't actually have my torches on me.
but yeah, like that's fair. It's also because nobody ever imagines their character with the backpack full of shit that they actually should be when they imagine what their
well,
character
I
looks
think
like.
I do when I'm adventuring, but just out in the town. I can't imagine I probably have a couple of important things, but
That's why I gave you all lockable chests in your rooms for that exact reason. Because I'm like, you can safely leave things here. I'm not going to steal them as a GM. I'll just have
We would
bats steal them.
absolutely
Yeah.
thing with at all times.
Yeah, and probably things that aren't his as well, arguably. But yeah, so that happens. I guess you turn in for the night then, Adair, given that you've found nothing of interest. Is more like it, right? In the dark. Maybe you start like.
make sure the doors secure, which I think we did.
Yeah, no, I think you did because like you rolled really well on your lock picking, got like an 18, which was surprising to everybody.
Yeah.
Which is why you got inspiration. Ridiculously.
And then, yeah, I think once we were in, we made sure it was bolted or something.
Yeah, you locked it behind you. That was it. Yeah. Which was easy enough, because you hadn't like trashed the lock on your way in. And obviously, Fleabite was very pleased about having taken the bell, so it wouldn't have alarmed anyone when you broke in.
Exactly.
That was
Hindsight.
it was like super tactical, you know. Fleabite is the Senate.
planned it long in advance.
It's the robe of many things. It's just the robe of Sith things. But yeah.
Just thing.
Oh dear. A bit of necromancy, some cackling, some lightning, yeah. But yeah, what happens then in the morning? What's the plan?
Well, once we're awake, how's Utar doing?
He's asleep.
He's still asleep.
Of course he is.
Do we get to reduce our exhaustion?
1 level.
Must be.
So what's exhaustion 2 now? What are you suffering?
It's just we still get all the disadvantages on ability checks, but
Your speed spec, is it?
that's speed. No, it's just if we were in combat.
Okay, so its attacks and stuff are no longer bad.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
and
good.
saving throws.
Yeah, ability checks still.
Still not terrible.
It's better.
It's better the table.
Right. While you are doing your morning stuff, we'll flash all the way over to whatever the hell Xarxes did for a day.
Ooh.
Because at some point, you depart from them, and
Okay.
they go off and, you know, go to the pub, essentially. So there was the library. You went off on your own after the library, after discovering all the Chiro-related Optera Thaki linked stuff from the session you were last in. You went off to go and do your own thing, whatever that may be. And then they went back there, sat down, sent Falcon away with a letter to Theo. And then they went to the pub and chatted to Utior and learned about the rumours of the curse. And then took him back to Theo's place where the letter had been pushed under the door, and they went, well, I guess we paid that for nothing then. Yeah. So that's what they've done since leaving you. What have you done since they left you?
And they don't know about the letter, I assume?
Well, I mean, they sent the letter to Theo to tell Theo to investigate the cave to see if the box is still there and to take a bunch of employees because you'll need help. But they paid Falcon to deliver that to that place where you met them originally.
Yes, but does Xarxes know that they sent a
No.
letter?
Because you left them. They did this after.
Yeah. Alright. Interesting.
Which is why when they go to this building you weren't using, they find a letter pushed under the door because they decided to break into that place for some reason. So yeah,
Monsters.
yeah,
We couldn't go back to the hotel.
for
So
reasons.
Madame Emerald would have either charged us or something. Or we were too drunk or something. There was reasons.
The midi-chlorians, yeah, I hear you.
So there were a couple of reasons. The first one was that you said, like, don't be too late. And
Don't
the
be
second
too
one
late. It was late.
was that we were carrying a drunk with.
We're all
So,
pretty drunk, to be
thank-
fair. Yeah.
I think the idea was like we needed to find somewhere for him anyway, and we weren't too eager to turn up late and drunk. We
Mhm.
specifically said not to do that.
No,
We were
it does make sense. You respected Madame Emerald. Yeah.
We are respectful,
Mhm.
especially with the breaking and
I
entering.
just want everybody to know this, by the way. Here is a statement as a GM. I'll say that my players were respectful to one NPC. Like, specifically highlighted it, though, because it's so rare in games that I would just like to point out, well done, guys. I approve of this message.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Which NPC?
Madame Emerald. She said, "Don't be
Oh,
late." So
yeah.
they chose when they realised they drank all the night away. They went, "Okay, we won't go back then. We'll go stay somewhere else, so as not to bug her." Like actual reasonable. So they thought breaking in it.
Maybe we're all just scared of Lady Emerald.
That's fair.
Adair's slightly scared of losing all his gems to her because
Mhm.
every time she sees her, she's like, "Look at my ring."
When she jangles her bangles, you mean?
And you fall back in love with her every time.
The cardigan-messed woman that she is. Anyway, so yes, Xerxes, what did you go off to do? What was your plan?
That's a very good question.
Yeah, because
So
weirdly,
I just
like,
left the group.
yeah, the Emerald Inn, when they went back to it, was a bit crowded, more so than normal, and they just attributed that to you being off out getting crowd sourcing, but really that could have been just happenstance, because people may have expected you to be there, but you weren't there,
Ooh.
which is interesting. So, ideally they probably think
Okay.
you were off building up a crowd, as per your arrangements with Madame Emerald, but really you've got cover to do anything.
Okay.
So you're in Evershade, you've got all of Evershade
Where-
at your disposal
where did we
for an evening.
Split off.
The library.
The library?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
went off to do your own thing, and they all shuffled back to the Emerald Inn.
Let's see.
Yeah, so you've got loads you could do, and if you wish, you could even ask your fellow players for things that they might think you would have done in that time if need be, unless you've got some crazy ideas of your own, like squaring up to Von Rune in the sky or some nonsense like that. Who knows? Some
Yeah,
really,
that'd be fun.
like some really bad decisions, you know. There's all.
Potentially, I could use the library to research on Cynthia.
I mean, you could
If
try if you wanted just to go
Yeah.
back into the library.
That's
Um,
a pretty big try, but I'm trying to think of what I would do.
As I said, I don't mind if you outsource to the rest of the players, because, yeah, you've kind of been out of it for a session and a bit, so, yeah.
Any ideas?
Well, what kind of time frame do we have? We got a few hours.
He's
probably.
basically got like an evening all the way into the morning, right? Realistically. So he's got from
Sure.
whatever time you was left at, which is narratively vague for reasons, and he's probably got like a good handful of hours until the morning. And he doesn't even need to meet you in the morning, right? He could meet you in the afternoon, arguably. So,
So
And I could not be late to the inn and sleep great.
yeah.
Yeah.
you could also potentially you could like do what we thought was your work, and you could go out and maybe wrangle a crowd and maybe use that crowd somehow to get some information from someone regarding, I don't know, the nobles or Barris or even Cynthia.
I was gonna say, yeah, so what's important to, like, the Xerxes collective character, right? Right? What is
I suppose
important?
I should do the actual job.
I mean,
Well,
It
I'm gonna suddenly suggest.
suddenly suggests doing the quest? What?
Well, Xerxes knows about Adair's date to the theatre.
Hmm.
You could scout out the theatre beforehand.
To what end? Are you expecting some kind of linking-esque type moment, or?
In case he needs to be there during the whole event, because I'm going to be meeting up with her
Just
family.
whispering in your ear. Now say this.
What is the, I assumed, though, that you were hoping that he would go and scout out the Thake residence, though, when you were at the theatre.
Yes, I keep thinking we're going for a meal first with her family.
You're going to eat after, remember?
After, right? That's what it is.
I don't know. This is your date. You're taking her on. Like, you tell me.
I mean, so far she's organized the travel and chose the theatre and
You picked the theatre. You bought the tickets.
I think I proposed to the theater.
Yeah.
Ah.
But like, this is what I mean. Like, this was all the Adair side of the planning. Regardless of who helped him, Thake only said, "You've done all that, so I will provide the transport. Meet me at my estate, and we'll take
Okay.
a cart, like, you know, the carriage, the Thake carriage or whatever it was, the coach, from there to the theatre." Yeah.
I could go find Eric.
They're with Eric. That's what they went and
Oh,
did.
they're with. Oh, okay.
UTR Eric is who they went to see in the pub, chatted to him, took him to weird space dimensions, and then took him back to your fake job place. So that's who they have. So I would suggest not doing that unless you want to pretend to be Eric and have lied to them about everything.
Oh my god, wouldn't that be the greatest?
I think Adair would kill you.
You could go get drunk as Adair and then go back and let Madame Emerald take it out on Adair.
No! Don't give them those ideas.
create shenanigans.
Go to the Thaki residence. Go to the Thaki
Right, so
residence.
what's it like? What in town? What in fact? What quest-wise do you need to solve? Right, let's look at the goals. Right, what needs resolved? That you could get up to narratively, because there's a lot on the go. Right, we've got obviously the Thaki, Optera, Kalastra stuff that you'll know about the Thaki Optera stuff, but not the Kalastra stuff. Obviously there is the cave box situation. There is preparing for Barris that you probably don't care about too much at this stage. There is also what the package was, enlisting Eric, which is kind of they're in the works of doing. There's impressing Lady Thaki, winning Cynthia's heart. Fleabite's thing's pretty unique to be fair to Fleabite. And the bats being a problem. So realistically, the cave was a failure.
Mhm.
And ironically, you could work on the cave situation, even though that's what they were going to ask you to do regardless.
Mm-hmm.
How would I work on it?
Don't know. You tell me. What would you like? Like
I could
that's if you
reserve-
that's if you care about that. Obviously, like if
I mean, it would, because the box is there,
allegedly. Yeah.
allegedly.
Yeah.
Or it seems to be there.
Mhm. And you know that if you were traveling by some form of horse, it's going to be like a day there and back, right? Never mind the time you spend there. But that was like a horse in a cart, which is arguably slower than like a riding horse,
I could go reserve horses.
I mean, none of them seem to want to go to the cave. That's the problem, right?
Oh, they don't.
No, like mostly they were telling you to go and do all that with your business partners that don't exist. But they don't know that because, you've been lying to them. So besides that part,
Yes.
right, there is also the fact that I did let them know, right, like, obviously Von Rune had a way to get there and back quickly, since he did that. So if there was anything cave related that you want to do quickly, you have seen Von Rune teleport you.
That's fair.
So
So
there's a-
I get to go meet with the Rune.
So there is that as an angle, or literally anything else in Evershade. Because there is also the tendency of the way Xerxes interacts with Von Rune could lead to a new character being rolled.
Which is fun in its own way.
I do like character gen, so
You know what? I do. I want to. Oh, not that. I do want to go see Rune.
okay, how are you going to go about that?
I could either. So the first thing Xerxes would do would go back to that restaurant.
Hmm.
Is the like? I guess it's evening and
It's still shut down.
it's
remember?
probably closed. Yeah, or
Yeah.
shut down. Yeah.
Hmm.
I would knock on the door and presumably not getting an answer, I would open it up.
How are you opening the door? Are you going to break it down? Are you going to lockpick it? Or
Is
are you
it
gonna...
locked?
I mean, yeah, the place looks like it's been shut down, as I described originally.
Well, it wasn't locked when I last went through it.
No, but that also didn't really work like a door did last time.
That's what I'm hoping for, alright? Shit, I had to go through so many characters to open up my character sheet again. That's sleight of hand, right? Yeah,
No,
let's try to lock
do you
it.
have proficiency in thieves' tools? It will be on the very left of the character sheet.
No.
Okay, so do you even have thieves' tools on your inventory?
No.
So that's not happening.
So I don't have a lockpick.
Correct.
You have a brick.
A brick.
Now, I'll give you this though. This is one instance where Skywrite probably won't help you unlock the door. But it probably would help you get Von Rune's attention. So,
Actually.
ultimately, I feel like I was right about the uses of Skywrite.
Wait.
It makes you feel better.
Can I
I'd
message
never.
him?
How so? How would you do that within 30 feet?
Is it within 30 feet? That's what I was wondering. Oh, yeah. I can't do that. 120 feet, actually.
That's much better. But that's
That is
also
much better.
it's not that.
I also can't go through a lot of walls.
Don't you have some kind of firework? No, nothing like that.
Prestidigitation.
It's the range in that.
10.
So you're gonna need to find a way to get an airship's attention.
Airship's attention.
Yeah. And you know the last time you had people go up to John Gateman to try and put a word in with, you know, what's his face, Stobart?
Yeah, but that took forever. Let's see. Is this worth using a major illusion on? That's 120 feet.
Again, it's probably the same issue though, is the airship is probably much higher than 120 feet.
Hmm.
Unless you spell it out on the ground using big rocks like an
Alright, I'm gonna cast heat metal on the entire airship.
Yes, that wooden airship. Yeah. Those nails, damn it. And yeah, Fleabite did stab it, and it did seem to have like some kind of runic shield all the way over the wood as well. So yeah.
Why do you hate all of my ideas?
I don't know. I feel like I gave you this idea originally, so it's more like self-loathing at this stage.
That's fair.
I did tell you to take Skywrite though, so like, you know, I stand by my original idea, which was Skywrite, and its copious amounts of uses it would have had in this game.
No.
For instance, draw a big wang in the sky. And,
Valrune's mom is a bitch. I feel like that get his attention.
it may.
So, how do you think you'll...
Alright, well, I guess I will give up.
Okay.
And go to John Gateman.
Right, so you head all the way up to the Tonan estate, and head up to the fancy part of town, up the big, you know, thoroughfare, or whatever the fuck you'd call it, and then, yeah, that'll do. And, yeah, you get to the gate, guards come out and stop you. It's obviously not John Gateman, because he needs to sleep at some point.
I'm gonna say something if he didn't. Like, damn, you worked a lot of hours.
Just, like, bleeding red eyes, help me!
No time. I've got to save the world, and by that I mean Conan.
You could have hot fuzzed it and just had his twin.
Yeah, the old Bill Bailey trick, yeah.
Yeah.
I can at any point. This does not. This isn't a time sensitive trick.
But yeah, so what do you say to the guards at the gatehouse?
I need to speak with Von Rune, and it is imperative to our mission for Lord Tonan.
Two guards look at each other. Look at you and goes, "Say, quite late, wouldn't you say, sir?"
Don't you think Lord Tonan would want his package back right away?
No. The guy behind him just kind of like coughs and stands up, like clears his throat, and then, you know, they're standing side by side and goes, "What is it you would like us to tell Lord Tonan?"
I just need a way onto Von Rune's airship, or a meeting with him, one of the two.
And then one of them looks at the other and says, "Oh, that's all. Is it? Oh, okay." And then
Yes, if you could get that done, that would be great.
he kind of nods and he goes, "I will pass on the message to Lord Tonan that Mr.
Xarxes.
Okay." And that's with a czar.
Correct.
And he goes, "Okay, and you are an employee of Lord Tonan's?"
I am.
I see. You want to roll deception to these guys, or?
Because I guess that's technically a lie. Yeah, that's,
Okay. They kind of look at each other suspiciously and goes, "Okay, Mr. Xarxes, we will pass it along." Yeah.
Okay.
Where will we forward the reply to?
Well, I wouldn't mind waiting inside.
I'm sure you would quite enjoy that. I wouldn't mind it myself. Probably warmer than out here in the cold. And they kind of just look at you, and then they say, "But seriously though,"
I'll be at the Emerald Inn.
he kind of nods and goes, "Okay, we'll send word as soon as we have any."
Thank you.
Evening to you, and kind of just nods, you know. And
I do the same.
yeah,
Turn around and head towards the inn.
yeah. And then the two of them say, "Oh, it's definitely a tiefling. They're called," as they mutter to each other. And yeah, where'd you head off to now?
I guess the inn, just to wait.
Yeah, sure. So, what would the specific wording of the message you'd like it to reach? I mean, just to Tonan being like, "Oh, I need to speak to Vonrun about.
Again,
I just need to speak to Vonrun about the package."
about our job.
Okay, yeah. And I think at this point, you get back to the inn, and Falcon runs up to you at this point. She looks at you, and she just hits you in like the thigh with her fist. And she's wearing like
How much damage?
19. Like, turns out she was holding 3 knives, like a Wolverine style, like cosplay. Claws of the Falcon, and then she's really taken to these 2 cape-like, cardigans that she's wearing loosely over either side of her. And she looks at you and she goes, "Where did you go? Everybody else was here and you weren't."
Oh, they were. What were they doing?
You know, nothing. Sitting there. She, like, vaguely points, like with like a floppy hand that just hits her side again as she's pointed to like the lounge area.
That's exactly what I plan on doing. Come to join me.
I'm working. Hands on her hips.
Hey. Good for you.
She just
How
looks
are
at
you
you like
gonna
with a
do
screwed
it?
up phrase, like a screwed up face, and she says, "Well, it's nice having things that aren't immediately stolen, so that's good." She kind of just looks at the floor when she says that, and then looks back up and she goes, "What are you waiting on?"
I'm waiting on a message.
"Oh, I delivered a message today. It was cold."
Oh, yeah?
No, it's.
You spreading out your work?
And there it goes, "Well," she looks over like her shoulder, like, you know, Madame Emerald dusting something that doesn't need dusted, and looks back at you and she goes, "I don't know what my job is here, but it seems to be whatever she says to me, so yeah."
That's a good job.
She nods. Well, it's warm." She just nods, like as if that's it. That is a bonus.
I'm happy to hear that. Thank you for the gold, by the way. You didn't have to.
She just like rubs her hand through like her hair and is like, "Do you need anything for your waiting?"
I wouldn't mind some wine.
"Okay," and then just runs away. Like she wasn't willing to entertain the return of the gold conversation at all. And then
She's adorable.
you're welcome. And and yeah, you sit down, obviously in the lounge area, and Madame Emerald walks over with like a bottle of wine under one arm and just sits across from you, just like with like, you know, flops herself down. You hear all the jingling of her jewellery, and
I
she's
have been waiting for the first time we'd be able to go out on a date. It's finally time.
she just tuts and shakes her head at you, and then just sits the bottle with a thud on the table from under her arm, and she goes, "This is pretty good wine." Just looks at you.
Yeah.
Slide. She slides the bottle just to the side so she can see you more. and just puts her
She
hand on the
said this
table.
is pretty good wine.
Yeah, and she just puts her hand on the table after staring.
I'm glad you like it. With obvious question in his voice.
She kind of nods and she goes, and here's me thinking you were the smart one of the bunch.
Yes, I guess technically I am.
She looks at your
Well-
character sheet in disgust. No.
I'm sorry to disappoint.
Money,
What is this
lad.
about?
Money. For the
Uh-huh.
wine.
The wine. Is this not free yet?
She looks and goes, free? Look at this place, it's nearly empty. It's really not, it's almost full.
Empty. Yes. It's hard times.
I don't mind if you need to get drunk to perform. She puts her hands up defensively like, it's none of my business. But it's not cheap. And you're a good performer.
Well,
She nods to you, you know. She goes, so, drink this, pay me for that, go up there, earn us all more money.
How can you charge me for essential work tools as I go to grab the bottled wine?
She just cackles, right? And like clutches like her chest a bit, just because it genuinely seems to have tickled her. And she goes, you should maybe try jokes instead of singing then. That'd be quite good. Maybe throw in a couple of jokes in among the song. Aye, they'd love it. But this is 10 gold.
God. This is the most expensive bottle of wine you have?
Fine wine is 10 gold. And she did say it was good wine. She's obviously wanting you to do well, right? She's not giving you crap wine.
Well, then how about half off? So,
And she goes,
just try.
she goes, fine. And then she like gets the candle that's at the table and like picks up some of the kind of like soot off the wick, and then marks it halfway up the bottle. And goes, there you go, drink to there.
Clearly, I'm not needed tonight for you could be the entertainer.
She laughs and she goes, aye, well, I've got work to do. She kind of like wipes a tear away, smudging some of her makeup, you know. She's clearly been entertained thoroughly. And she stands up and jingles her bangle hand, and then goes, well.
Give her the 10 gold.
She kind of like goes, taps it all on the table onto like a platinum, bites into it and goes, good. And just like tucks it away and goes, well, up you go, and off she walks.
She's walking away.
Yeah, and she does.
10% of
As
my
she,
daily income.
as she like walks away though, she will like use her thumb and smudge away the mark on the bottle as she's kind of chuckling to herself, just shaking her head to side as she walks away.
I feel like an achievement that I made her laugh.
I mean, she definitely was tickled by that. But this isn't an Xbox game, sadly. So, what do you do now? What's the plan now?
I guess we'll take a swig of the wine.
It does
Yeah,
taste nice, if
with-
that helps.
It does. Take it with me and get up to the stage.
Mhm, yeah.
Break out my violin.
Okay.
Well, is everyone ready for a show?
And then, like, a couple of the murmurs of the conversations kind of stop, and one guy just goes, "Woo!"
Thank you.
And then that's like,
Yeah, then I begin.
and then, like, there's just like blank stares for a bit as we're like, "Oh yeah, this place now does live music." Yeah. So do you want to give us some instrument using rules? With your
Actually, wait one sec.
should be at the far left under your proficiencies.
Said fall.
Very far left.
You
Bottom.
have to force it. Yeah. You have to
And then-
force it to charisma.
Yeah.
Got it.
Look at that. Look at that. So,
Put you.
Adair, why can't you do that?
Wow.
He took all the good rolls.
Apparently, you just have to buy wine before you roll anything. You may have noticed I added a new option, not specifically targeted for you, Adair, into the channel points.
I I did see that. Yes.
Yeah. So it's fine. I changed the healing potion one to just straight healing because I figured I'm nice that way. So yeah, you can just buy healing now, which is a lot more expensive than the healing potion, but it's a lot more useful than the healing potion. So you are all welcome. I am a wonderful GM.
Battle?
You can use it if you've got the channel points. Whenever.
Or never.
Or never, yeah, whatever happens.
Used or usn't.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you start performing very well, obviously. 20's pretty damn good. Crowd are getting into it. They much enjoy the moments where you time the music to stop and take a swig of the wine. And then, yeah, like the performance goes on for a bit. And you notice, like, almost like soldiers, if you will, guards, have like shuffled in, a couple of them, walking into the lounge, and like just take up like a position near the back, as if they've like worked their way through the back row of people, and as if they're like clearly they look like they're checking out the place, as they look around, and then general perception for me. Like as you're looking around, you notice that through the beaded entrance to the lounge, you can see there's clearly more guards in the lobby, and that you can just make out.
Do I recognize these guards at all? Like, are they like militia or like?
Oh, they're like, you know, the guards you saw at the
Town
gatehouse.
guards.
Yeah, like just like, you know, the guards that are everywhere in Evershade, because Evershade has one uniform. Yep.
Okay.
Because it's the noble house that is in charge that's responsible for the safety, right? So they supply
So
the
these are
soldiers.
clearly Toman's guards.
Yes. Yes, very overtly. And whatever house sigil that will never be canonized until I need it to be canonized for their houses, that's what they're wearing.
Perfect.
That vague, you know, blurred over image. Censorship.
So
That
they
was
are
their house
focused
symbol. House Schnoo Schnoo of The Sims.
That's mosaic.
Yeah.
God, not Shnu.
But yeah, Death by Snoo Snoo. And yeah, like you see more guards there, and then they kind of walk through the beads, and they like move some of the like patrons away from some of the one of the tables. It's like during the performance, and in walks yeah, no, right. TOS. In walks Stobart, who looks around, and almost like acknowledge like his eyes and oh, this is the right place, as he like nods and opens his eyes a bit when he realizes you're on stage, and then immediately turns, and like holds the beads open, and then works Lord Twinan.
Oh.
Who then walks past a couple of people that immediately like stand up and step back and look shocked as he walks his way to the table that's been cleared for him. And he just sits down and yeah, like the performance. Do you want to do another wee performance roll for me with the violin to see if you're holding on okay during all this?
Why does it force me to pick charisma every time? Whatever.
Because it lets you do different. So obviously you're getting a bit distracted by what's going on. Yeah,
but nervous.
Yep, perfect roll for that. But still, 10's okay, right? You're still at least playing reasonably well. And like Stobart goes off and speaks to Madame Emerald, who's like, what the hell's just happening? I turn my back for 5 seconds, and you know, and like he goes up and talks to her, and then they have a back and forth that seems quite animated in the background, and then she shakes her head and, you know, clearly screams something at Falcon, who runs off, and then she attends the table with Lord Twinan, like puts out like some very fine things, you know, some nice goblets with clearly finer wine, right? In fancier bottles, decanters and various other things, like basically a buffet of fine things to, you know, either eat or drink or sample. And then Twinan just seems to like sit and take in the performance until it ends. So yeah, your performance comes to an end after however long your nerves hold you on stage, and then
Give a quick bow.
yeah, and you know, he stands up and claps, and so everybody else claps, you know, and everybody else shuffles out very quickly. in between the guards. And then the place is empty, except Stobard, Tonan, the guards, Emerald and Falcon, and you.
I'll make my way towards Lady Emerald.
Okay, yeah.
And we might have to renegotiate the conditions of our contract if I'm pulling in.
She just slaps you and says, "Talk to him, not me!" And then shuffles off very quickly after that. Your face would go red, but, you know.
He's just laughing off head towards Tobin.
And Stobard kind of like clears his throat a bit and goes, "Yes, this is Zarx's, my lord." And Tonan just goes, "Ah yes, one of my employees, I hear." And he stands up and he says, "Have a seat next to me, employee."
Ah yes, it's nice to be appreciated. I go and sit down next to him, trying to act cool.
He kind of like turns to a guard, vaguely not acknowledging who the guard is, of course. He goes, "Is it?" And then turns back. And then, you know, we remember what, like, you know, Noah looks like, I believe. Right, did that work? There he is. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. We'll put him there. Remember?
Okay.
Beautiful Noah.
Sort of remember now.
Yeah, the well-dressed. And he said you sit down, yeah?
Mhm.
Yeah, and he like sits down and he kind of like buzzes the guards away with his hands. And he sits there and just kind of like smiles at you and stares you up and down. He goes, "So, what did I employ you for?"
Well, I work for the
Emerald Inn, it seems.
that too.
And it
Side
seems
job
like
was
you're
good.
worth every penny, I would imagine. You are paid for this, right?
Not well enough.
He kind of just
I get a bed
grins
to rest.
again. Ah, well, at least that's something.
Yes, yes. Are you looking for a house instrumentist
Oh, no.
at all?
And he looks at us and he goes, "I am having a wedding, you may have heard. And I imagine adding you to the chorus wouldn't exactly be the worst idea I have had this evening." He just grins, like he's laughing at a joke he only gets.
Oh god.
And then he turns back and he goes, "Are you in the market for some kind of independent freelancing, are we? Does your
certainly.
matron master over there allow such liberties?"
We can talk her into it.
He laughs and he goes, "I don't care. But I do care about employees using my name.
hmm Well,
I don't recall hiring
I
you."
imagine you remember hiring Adair.
He kind of blinks and he goes, "The wonderful Genasi fellow, yes."
hmm He employed me.
"I see. So you're in fact deceiving my guards."
It was the best way to hurry them along.
Don't admit to
Have you met Dylan? This is his tactic, is be honest about every time he was dishonest.
Okay. Oh god.
It baffles the NPCs.
It's the honest.
Yeah, they never expected.
Oh dear. So he kind of just like stares at you like somebody staring at, you know, a meal when they're starving. And he looks over to Stobard, who looks awkward as hell standing there. You know, like Dooku realizing maybe Palpatine isn't on his side.
Oh, nice to see you again, Stobin. I hope you enjoyed the show again.
He kind of like clears his throat and he goes, "Quite a valiant performance." And he
Thank you.
very briefly stops the conversation there. And
I'm a
then,
bull in a China shop when it comes to this.
you picked Charisma Primary as a class as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Always roleplay what you can't do in real life. Anyway, the Lord looks at you and he says, "And what exactly did Adair hire you to do that he could not for me?"
Help him out with the job you gave him.
What job was that? These facts seem to be
Say it out loud.
They seem to be slipping my memory. And he waves vaguely in the air.
I look around, like, kind of like lower my voice so it's closer to a whisper about the box.
Speak up. We're alone.
The box, Lord Tonin.
And he grins and he goes, "What box would that be?"
The one guess you misplaced.
Me? Misplace a box? And he turns to Stobart. Does that sound like me, Stobart? And Stobart goes, "Not at all, my lord." And then Tonan turns back to you and he goes, "See? It doesn't check out. Me misplacing things?" He kind of shrugs and kind of chuckles to himself. "So again, why were you hired?"
Well, that would be for my employer to tell.
"Yes, which is apparently my employee. And thus..."
Then I guess you'll have to ask him.
"I see. So you're useless to me, is what you're saying.
In this regard, I suppose.
So you serve no purpose to my agenda."
Well, at least one that catches himself. In the moment, I suppose.
"See, I have no use for useless things, as you can imagine." And he just stares at you.
I
Kind of
suppose most
intensely.
people don't.
You'd be surprised about most people. And then he looks at the table full of like fancy things, and he goes, "Stobart, take this away." And then Stobart like lifts the tray full of like the decanters and bottles and various other like platters of food and stuff, and struggles with it all the way back to the countertop. And yeah, Tonan looks at the guards and says, "We'll be leaving now. Clear the way." And then the guards leave, and obviously like go to the lobby and clearly outside the Emerald Inn. And these are now alone, just the two of you, in the lounge. And he stands and he says, "I think you'll find that you being useless, a dangerous undertaking. Use my name again, and I will kill you with my own hands." And then he just like puts a hand on your shoulder and kind of pats and goes, "I'll be in touch about the music about the wedding, though." And then walks off out the room.
I just let him go.
Yeah, and the beads obviously let him go as well as he fights them out the way. And then Falcon crawls out from under the table next to you, and looks up, and she goes, "He's scary."
Yeah, I suppose he is.
And then she kind of just looks like out towards the lobby and then back at you. "Are you going to play at the wedding?"
We'll see. He'll have a high price to pay for me. See if he can afford me. Give her a wink.
"I can whistle."
I'll be sure to bring up your name.
And she nods. He goes, "No, that's okay." And then she walks away.
Good answer.
Yeah. What do you do next? What's your new plan?
Go to bed.
Okay, sure. Mm-hmm.
That's the best route here.
Yeah, cool. Wait till morning. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Morning comes, everyone. Look at our timeline synced back up. Yay, and yatta! Right, so team that are in the residence.
A terrible feeling. And think why.
Actually, a great number of plot lines cried out, but were silenced in one. Yep. Okay, so what do you do with your drunkard that's still unconscious?
I am thinking that we cannot be moving him until he is conscious.
Do we need to move him? I mean, we're not trying to find Paris right this second, are we? Oh.
Yet, but should we really leave him in building that we are accessing in special ways, alone?
I don't think anyone owns this. To be honest with you. It's like empty real estate. We can leave him here for the time being, and to be honest with you, I think it'll probably be better than wherever he would be sleeping otherwise.
Is true.
Nowhere worth staying is empty. Yes, yes.
It's good
See,
point from the Fleabag.
Sleep out real estate agent.
Then what if we are to be leaving him a letter? So we are finding him later, or shall we just head back to the? Well, I do not really wish to find him in the bar again and getting drunk again. I'm feeling we are needing him sober.
I don't think there's much chance of that.
Unless we are telling him to meet us for a drink somewhere.
Well, what? What if we were to leave him a couple of coins for something to eat? I'm
Mhm.
sure he'll probably be hungry. And we can find him probably at the usual watering hole later on. We have things to do that I'd rather not drag him along for. This business with the nobles, well, if he's from some minor noble family that's fallen out of graces, in that state, not going to be much help to us.
This is true, but I am conscious of today's date, as this evening I am having good evenings with the lady.
Prior- Priorities, eh? Yeah.
Hmm?
Being paid
So
to
what
solve
does
a
that have to
mystery.
do with him?
We're solving a mystery. We're getting to the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
I am thinking right now we should maybe go for breakfast at the Madame Emerald's and perhaps see if our colleague is back there.
It might not be a bad idea to clean up. We're there.
Yeah. Perhaps freshen up. I've been wearing same jacket for nearly 2 years.
Nodding his head. This is Arcade World. People do that. God knows how long Vanger's been wearing his robes.
Yeah.
Um,
They may have grew on him. Who knows?
yeah.
What's that meme? It was like, I've been wearing this jacket for 2 years. I've been wearing this jacket for 10 years. And then Fleabite just at the bottom. You guys wear clothes?
You have jackets? Poor Fleabite. To be fair, you summon your clothes out of magical darkness dirt. So.
Which I will have to do now that we
Mhm.
wake up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so as they're talking about jackets and clothes, you just summon yours. Yeah.
Now, what about? Well, this something Saki. She's connected to all of this.
That she is.
stuff.
It is
So-
her feather that is the interesting party.
Well, maybe not just her. I realise that you may have your mind elsewhere, but if you could get any useful information off, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
I shall certainly be trying to get the information, but let's face I'm not one that is having good luck with the information from her. I'm hoping to sweeten her up first.
Right. Well, what would you like us to do about the father?
Well, I am thinking, while I'm out, perhaps we need to discuss this in details early. Let us meet up with our colleague and discuss together as group. Give me time to think, and I need a coffee.
Yes. Good idea.
But I am still pondering the library itself. Used to be I forgot his name.
Optera?
Optera. Used to be the home of the Opteras.
I was
Um,
just thinking that myself, actually.
And believing me, if we can, we should probably try and investigate this place before I am seeing the lady this evening. But I am not sure if this is possible if she
Well,
is there.
Perhaps that's exactly the wrong way to go about it. I know you were talking about sneaking in perhaps to the state. But to be honest, I don't fancy our chances of that. Certainly, I'm not built for much sneaking.
Hmm.
Maybe flea bite, but then if flea bite's spotted, he's hard to forget. You wouldn't mistake him for anyone else.
Fleabite, your skills are being called into question here, buddy.
Yeah, a bit of a snort as soon as.
I'm not doubting your ability to sneak. I'm just saying I doubt your ability to make a clean getaway if you are spotted, and this would be probably quite well guarded.
Hmm. We are
What?
having problem what with let's face, we are quite a unique group of peoples.
What I've been thinking, what about the library? As you say, it used to belong to the Doctor line, so if the old noble family that run it clearly still have some of their documentation in it, as we've seen, who knows what else of theirs is left in it?
Hmm.
Maybe there were other documents that your friend didn't particularly feel like sharing with us because of her own family's involvement.
This is a good point.
And it's also
if-
less likely to be guarded.
Well, there was always just her when we have been there before. But if we are
Exactly.
going back, I am needing excuse to see her early,
Why do you need an excuse to see her there?
as I am seeing her lately, and she is one who is always asking me what I am wanting when I see her.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay.
I get
If I
it,
am
but it's
to
fine.
distract her, da.
Do we need to
so,
distract her? I could
so
just
that
wait
you
for her to move
can.
on.
But that won't be till evening, and then I will not be with you.
I was thinking Fleabite could probably manage to get it in. Oh,
Hmm, true. As long as we are not needing. Well, I am sort of thinking of having you as how you say wingman for when I'm at the theaters.
Fleabite used to be a
don't recall
wingman.
being invited. Or particularly being interested in theatre.
To be fair, there are 4 seats in the booth, as I said. The box that they've bought. Hmm.
No.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, Fleabite could put on a nice dress, Vanger could take Fleabite as his +1. There's 4 seats at the theatre. See?
Fleabite could just summon his friends.
Mhm. For all the seats.
Take himself.
Uh,
You're gonna have a hard time convincing Vanger to go to her out your.
It's awkward as fuck, quite frankly.
Also, it's not his scene, man.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah. I guess unless it was Midsummer's Night Dream. Like, yeah. But yeah, so what do you do about where you are right now? Do you pick up Utior and carry him off to get some breakfast in him? Or
I mean, can we try and wake him? I'd like to try and wake him. A couple of wee taps to the face. Is
yeah,
that
he's
possible?
he's definitely still pretty inebriated. He's pretty
Inebriated.
hungover. Yeah, he's still pretty bad.
Flashbacks to the last unconscious person that Adair and I tried to wake up.
Oh yeah. Right. No, let's not put anything up his nose.
Well, it couldn't be worse than Callum. Can I?
It was Callum's man. That's who it was. Poor
Oh,
Haranen.
wow.
Poor Haranen.
Nice. How much? Right. How much would get him a nice hearty breakfast? I know there's a good chance he's gonna like get a minimal breakfast and then spend the rest in booze. But
Right, well, if you buy everything specifically at Madame Emerald's for food and not actual booze, then he'll get no booze, right?
yeah,
So, go with that plan. When you whisper like that, we only get some of your audio.
okay. I'm saying I don't think it's a good idea to bring them. I just don't see the advantage to it.
But then what are you going to do with them? I think's my question. In summary, what's the plan
Well,
with him? Is it
if
leave
we
him
want
there?
more information from him, if we think he has more information, then we should just wait for him to sober up and ask. In which case, sure, bring him with us. But what extra information do we think he has that will help us here and now?
It's definitely a team question.
Because I thought he would have more information on the stuff in the city with the nobles, and he did. But I don't know that there's much more beyond that. And
Well, it's the Barris, it's the future.
Yes, which I absolutely agree with, but we have
mean-
a timetable and
So is it a case of just waking this guy up and sending him on his way? Or leaving a
Yeah.
note with him when he wakes up and saying, "We put you here for the night, please lock up when you leave"?
I mean, I'd be fine with that, and I was going to leave him a few silver or something.
There you
When
go.
it came to leaving him, I was thinking if we escort him out, that way we're not leaving him in a building that
Mm.
we broke into. Because if he's found there,
A,
That's fair.
a modest meal per day would be 3 silver. A poor meal per day would be 6 copper. So there you go. So 3 silver seems reasonable to give somebody. If you were looking for values of anger.
I could give him like 4, say, and then he could get like, 2 half decent ones.
If you give him 5, you can actually have an in-stay for the day. Which is modest in-stay is 5 silver. Or is this you trying to get rid of 4 silver from your monies?
Specifically because it's 94, yeah. No, it's, I'm quite happy. If I know that that's just sort of going right,
Yeah.
I would probably leave 5.
Sure.
Anything that sort of, to encourage him to maybe get a bit of food in his stomach
Mhm.
and that. So I'm going to deduct 5 because I'm going to sort of write.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm not going to write it because I think I'm probably not the best at writing. I think Vanker is probably.
Adair can read it. He
More
wrote the
stone
he
carving,
he wrote the
right?
first letter, if that's what the case. So what are you telling him to write?
I'll leave him. I'll leave him a few coins to get into an inn or something, or feed himself for the day. Leave him a wee note, something like oh. I actually do I want to say meet us at a later date because I think like for the next few days we should just focus
yeah,
on the other stuff.
Just we'll be in touch. We'll be fine, right?
yeah, we'll be in touch, or we'll
We'll,
meet you again.
we'll be in touch sounds a bit business-like, and we've talked vaguely about the idea of maybe you could help us with the Barris thing, but only vaguely. So maybe just like a left
See
a
you
few
around.
coins. No doubt we'll see you at the
Well,
Witherspoon soon enough, or something like that, or see you around. Even just to see you around, there's nothing wrong with. Wasn't sure where you were sleeping, so yeah, I don't know. It's something to that effect. Aye. Take care. We left you a few coins. I don't want to say anything embarrassing, but as I say, I've no idea
what
where
you
he
spent it on.
lives, if
Mm.
anywhere.
I mean, we weren't sure where you're staying, so we made sure you were warm for the evening and stayed with you. But we had pressing business, so we had to go.
See, this is why you write letters.
So we have some pressing business, and we had to leave you. But we made sure to leave you with some silver so that you can see yourself well.
Aye,
So,
that
aye.
sounds pleasant.
Right. Yeah, do that, and we'll meet again. Our friend.
And it's like, do we have an envelope or something, or maybe like something?
I would
to
shove
stick-
it in his pocket. Like I'd just fold the letter up and put it in his pocket with a coin.
Yep, good
Mhm.
idea.
Yeah, done. Perfect. We just go back to the Emerald Inn for breakfast. Yep,
I would
sleepy.
Emerald Inn.
Before we leave, thingy,
Try and get your wood back.
Recover what you can of it.
take the table. I think Fleabite would go up to what's his name?
Urik.
Yes, Eric. And sort of pat down on him to find his pipe.
Okay. Yeah. It's probably in a buttonhole on his lapel, so it's probably really easy to
Well,
find.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And is narratively, can it be the size that Fleabite could fit a gold coin into the charge?
The charge. So the part
Like
of the
the
pipe.
cup,
Okay, yeah, sure. Why not?
and then just put it like a bit safer. Return the pipe safer into his.
I mean, how do the gold coins look in D&D? Do they have the holes in them? So I know some coins do, right? So D and D money. D and D money.
Actually, I think they do because or is it copper definitely do?
I think it's the copper sadly that does it, yeah. Yeah, the gold ones actually are the weird shaped kind of hourglass style ones, which are quite cool, I think. I'll share the there's the
Yeah.
image there. So copper, silver, deadly triangles. Hourglass
sure, can-
gold, non-existent electrum, and platinum. I feel like electrum can be a thing in this game, but it's definitely the dwarven only currency it was kind of originally designed as.
Hmm.
So arguably, Fleabite, you could put 10 silvers on the hat, like the spout of the pipe, as it were. If you wanted to.
I kind of wanted it to be something that you wouldn't find for a wee bit.
Sure, yeah, like you can jam in the gold one. I think that could be reasonably thin enough. I see. Obviously, it looks like it's a Calastris House print gold coin. By the looks of things there.
Oh, and just before leaving, I take it there's light in the building now.
I mean, I guess so. Yeah, sure.
Can I do another wee investigation in the morning in this building just to see if I find anything in the light?
Sure.
Hey,
Can I help him?
Probably not,
Blinded by the light.
because of your disadvantages, right?
But does that stop me from taking the help action?
Probably, because you'd be providing disadvantage to him, which would give him nothing. So he's doing a straight roll anyway. Right? Because you have disadvantage, you'd be granting advantage, that cancel out, so it's a normal roll.
yeah.
So
If you grant someone advantage to grant advantage to
it doesn't stack.
To give advantage on it.
Double the advantage.
So for Fleabite to investigate, it would be disadvantage. To help some disadvantage, there's a one source of each they cancel, regardless of any other interactions.
It's just that the help action has nowhere in its wording talking about your state.
It does, from my interpretation as a GM, because
Fair enough.
if you're exhausted, you'd be a hindrance to somebody. That's the point of you being exhausted. This is why GMs exist, to have this overlap, where things weren't specified for every goddamn detail Alexander finds in the games. So yes, you can't help. You could try, but it would just be the same roll. Where mostly he's pushing you out of the way when you're trying to get in front of him, being like, what's under here though? And he lifts you out of the way to see what's under there. Yeah, it just looks like a building that hasn't been used in a while, and maybe seen some use a couple of days ago. Briefly.
Okay. But
Yeah.
nothing lying around that would indicate its previous use or anything.
No.
Bones or nothing. No, nothing on the walls.
No, like, as I said, looks like it was maybe
Yeah,
tidied
that-
recently, and that's about it. Yeah, that's about it.
Right. Are we putting Utar outside and leaving him there?
In the cold.
Is it quite cold? Yeah.
It's winter, remember?
True.
As per the winter festival and the snow and everything.
Okay. Yeah, I guess just leave him where he is. And
Yep, he's now got a gold and some 5 silver and a letter, so he's done okay out of this, to be fair. Right,
I'd maybe add in the letter. By the way, this isn't our property. Leave quietly.
sure, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
We found the door ajar and thought.
yeah, you leave him like reasonable instructions as to how to not be complicit in a break.
Correct.
Yeah,
We found the door wasn't a door.
yeah, we found it was a puzzle I rolled very well against. So, yeah, you head back to the Emerald Inn then, after having seen to your soon-to-be potential travel companion. Expedition extraordinaire. And yeah, I guess you meet up with Xarxus in the lounge, in some kind of breakfast state. Because that's convenient when you're all together again, which is nice.
Yes.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Hey,
Oh, dear, you.
welcome home.
Breakfast today. What was that?
I will be having the breakfast, but I'm going to room first to freshen up.
Like, you just hear a tut coming from the countertop, and then, see, Falana, Heathens, a lot of them, staying out the whole night. Just shakes her head.
Well, we thought it'd be rude to come back too ungodly an hour after you'd warned us against that, so we decided it would be better just to,
Freeze to death.
yes. Well, no.
We stayed with friends who we are meeting. It was a good night, but time got away from us.
She
We did not
hides,
want-
she puts her hands over Falcon's ears, and she goes, "She doesn't need to hear your sordid tales of, And she just shakes her head, and she goes,
Roguery.
"I'm assuming breakfast for all of you."
but I will be moment. I'm just going to pop to room.
I'm a priest. Anyway. Aye, that's. I'm just going to see him back down with you shortly. Does
Did you get a shower?
No, but we've got a basin.
We spent the night huddled up together with Fleabite. We
Yeah.
Very fair.
I mean, yeah, fair. But
Mhm.
also,
I think Alexander's the first to describe how ill kept Fleabit is. But yes, so I guess you're left in the hall then, Xarxus, preparing dinner, breakfast I should say for them, praying for it, I guess. Yeah.
Like staying down there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Go wash.
Obviously. Yeah. I think.
Now, welcome home, Fleabite.
Yes. Right thing. Did you find much on your search travels?
No. I tried.
Rest then, yes.
Yes, good rest. What of you? Did you rest well?
We encountered our meeting schedule, yes.
Meeting schedule. Who'd you meet?
It was man of drink.
I see. Did you find out much from Man of Drink thing?
Some questions answered, yes. Many more given.
Oh. What'd you find out?
We find much of family house clan.
Family House Clan. The Opteras?
Yes. Bat fly thing. And beast thing, yes.
see.
Connection to Great Lord of House Clan City Nest.
House Clan City Nest. Is that Tonin?
Yes.
I see. So they have a connection. Well, that would make sense then. Suppose we'll have to find that box still, though.
Yes. Package must find, yes. Is there any difference in the bar? There's no signs of anything that's happened.
No, nothing's changed. It was literally just the guards walked in and the people shuffled out so as not to be, rude or treasonous accidentally to, wonderful Lord Tonan that night. There was no ruckus or they didn't turn the place over or anything. It was just they walked in and claimed the place briefly.
When you had what's his name take the tray away, I definitely expected that to be picks up tray.
No, it was mostly it was him struggling to carry it all the way back to the countertop, because he's not exactly a young man anymore. But yeah, so I think Falcon walks up to both of you and she looks at you, Fleabite, probably the same height as you, and then she looks up at Xarxus and looks back at you and she goes, "You're all hairy."
I think from her height, yeah, she
Mhm.
would probably be able to see past his Fleabite's cloak better than and Fleabite sort of give a beady stare at her, and sort of sniff at the air. Say, the youngling want to go find big rocks in city, no, in between city nest places. Yes.
Kind of tilts her head. She goes, "What kind of rocks?"
Is that not what man-thing younglings do? Yes, yes.
I like rocks. She just
Do you-
looks at you with like wonder and suspicion at the same time, right? It's some kind of what are you and am I into it, right?
Am I into it?
It's like when you try to introduce a kid to something new and they look at it like, I've been burned before, parental unit. So yeah, she says, I like rocks.
Rocks is good. Yes, yes. You live in city nest warren.
Yeah.
You have grown here all time with other younglings. Yes, yes.
I was the tallest of them.
Temptation to say size matters not.
Fleabite's been binging like Star Wars apparently.
Fleabite say, yes, yes. You eat other nest warren things, younglings.
No,
Tall, big.
no. I tried a rat once though and it wasn't nice.
Xerxes is just enjoying this. This is the best day.
Food things is food things. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I was hungry though. She kind of just looks sad about that, yeah.
When hunger great enough, all things can taste as great feast. Yes, yes.
I mean, I guess so.
Hope you not have great hunger. Yes, yes.
Same to you, mister. And I think she just goes and kind of hugs you.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
Can never kill Falcon.
Um,
I just want that said.
It's probably one of those things where like Fleabite doesn't know how to hug. She just sort of
She's
wraps
attacking.
arms around him.
But no, she hugs you, but yeah, you know, she hugs
It's
you.
like when a dog just sort of freezes.
And then she goes, "Are you his friend?" And looks up at Xerxes.
Is she talking to me or
Like she's talking about you to Fleabite, yeah.
'Kay.
But like, MD's open to answer that, to be honest.
I'm
Is useful help. Yes, yes.
yeah, useful help.
Yeah, she agrees. Yeah, he is. And looks back at you, Fleabite, and goes, "What's
Truly
that
the
for?"
Best of compliments.
She points at your belt. It's got like the bag attached to it and like your dagger on it, and
For keep holding. You must be well skilled at steal from keep holders. Yes, yes.
yeah. And then like she like goes into like her little apron that she's got, and she like just holds it up because it's got like one big pocket on the front of it, and she just lifts it up and with her hand in it, puts down. I can keep things in this too.
Keep things as good. Yes, yes. Be careful to always keep hold of good things. Yes. Especially rocks. Yes, yes.
Especially good rocks. She looks at you like we have a secret understanding about what a good rock is.
I would burn this whole city down.
But what's that one for? It's obviously the dagger, the tear of sorrow.
This one is for when things get scratched tooth. Yes.
Can I see it?
as he takes it out,
Give the
takes
crowd
them
the
both out.
dagger. Give the
Well, yeah, I'm Fleabite's happy to let her
Mhm.
hold Griz's arm.
Yeah, and like she takes it and looks at it over it and just, oh, it's really pretty. And then
Yes.
just looks over.
When people try to take stuff from Hold Place, then use green Jay's claw.
Kind of just nods vaguely, like she may have not have listened, and then just turns it over in her hand and she goes, I don't have one. I only have this. And then punches Xerxes in the thigh.
Jesus, I don't have that much health points.
Then you must learn where and how fast to hit punch with claw foot. Yes.
Kind of nods and goes, yeah. And then, like,
I rub my forehead and say, I don't think she needs any advice.
she looks pleased by that, right? She looks very proud, but in like a kind of stoic, narrow, like furrowed brow, kind of. Yeah, you're right.
Damn right.
I am tough, and then you just hear the fluster of Madame Emerald jangling her way all the way over and like taking the knife off her and like pushing her behind her and then handing the knife back to you, Fleabite, and going, "Don't give kids weapons." She's shouting down at you, Fleabite.
She has feet claws. She has bite teeth. She can have weapons whether she hold or not. Yes.
Yeah, and she grew them herself. You don't have to give her more. And she just like kind of like starts to like wave her hand in your face and stuff to try and like shoo you. A lot of jewelry on one of her hands.
There's also weapons.
What does Fleabite do? Just back off slightly from the crazy lady, or who knows what? I think by this point, every day, like you two can come downstairs now after having done whatever you needed to do in your rooms as well. But yeah, Fleabite.
Yeah, I think just take a look at Falcon. It's like nod, Star Wars nod.
Mm-hmm. She gives you that kind of like when she got like her mouse pursed away to the side of her face. That kind of
soundtrack swells.
just as if like Madame Emerald may have interrupted an interesting conversation that Falcon was having. And then she kind of like shrugs and goes back through the back, and Madame Emerald, after like fussing with you, and just looks at you, Xerxes, and goes, "Keep him away from her."
But they seem to have gotten along so well.
And she looks at you, narrows her eyes, and she goes, "We don't need any more runaways," or, gives you just a look, and then walks away.
I just laugh.
Yes, the gutters overflow.
Horrible idea. So yeah, you just come back downstairs to what feels like, I guess, dissipating tension, and yeah, Madame Emerald just like when you all are kind of gathered in the lobby before moving on, just goes, "Well, breakfast. What are you having?"
A full breakfast for me, please.
Yeah, it's the same for everybody else then. Nods vaguely every day.
Mhm.
You just-
Madame, before you are leaving, I believe, do we have anything waiting for us?
He goes, yeah, you do. As it seems is the normal these days. She like picks up the bag of gold and dumps it.
Ah.
She goes, am I just taking breakfast out of this as well?
Certainly, please.
Okay, so obviously she's taking 10 gold out, obviously. Vanger, she'll give you yours as well because you're here.
Yes, indeed.
And then, how many are you that are actually having breakfast? I forget how many there are now.
That was 90 gold for
That's 190 you've got.
190?
You get 200
Yeah.
per day, minus
Oh,
10
I
for
always
what...
forget that.
No, I always remind you,
Yeah.
don't worry. But yeah,
I always want to make
Oh, well,
sure.
that works out perfectly.
and then you get
Hold that
obviously...
hand.
Yeah, exactly. You've got another employee to pay. I think meals per day, I guess a modest or comfortable meal, right? It's 5 silver. How many of you are there?
4.
Cool. So I guess you lose 2 gold out of that as well, so you get like 188, is that right? So yeah,
80.
8.
Yes.
Yeah, makes sense. Go my quick maths apparently today. So yeah. Yeah, John, quick math, yep. And
Been 100 to me.
and not to say that books need balanced anyway, but I think it's Vanger's turn to pay 100 to you in one go. Because
Okay,
because
100,
Adair did that on like the previous day.
Oh no, not to worry. No, yeah. Hands over hundreds.
Thank you.
Are you sending off 20 by the way to the the majestic magpie?
Am I?
I don't know. That's what I asked you.
No.
Okay.
They seem to have quit.
So yeah.
I need to figure out what happened to them. I haven't heard any word. But anyway,
Yeah, and then you head to the lounge. Eventually, some time passes, a breakfast-making amount of time. You get supplied with a comfortable meal, which is very good. Which I don't know what that really means, but the options were squalid, poor, modest, comfortable, wealthy, and aristocratic. So, comfortable is what you've got.
Comfortable.
Yeah, and yeah, these are fairly well fed, I guess. Then, what's the chat at the table?
Today's plan.
Mm.
I think we've made some
Library.
There might just want to be some
Library.
catching up between, what Xerxes got up to and what you've got up to, right? Because
Yeah.
you haven't spoken yet, except what Fleabite discussed with them.
I heard you guys learned some stuff.
We learned Fleabite can drink a lot. So I think I knew this.
I raised a glass to the Fleabite. Impressive.
Think you can try out to drink? Yes.
I'm not so interested in trying. Maybe one day.
Yes. Lose much copper you would.
But I think we'd fill in Xerxes to the houses and the aspect their sigils and the possibility of a curse and all that jazz. I mean, do you want us to do that?
Oh,
RP,
he
or-
wasn't here, so yes.
Yeah, so you can't just auto-fill me in.
I'm like, I was going to autofill that, damn it.
Now,
So,
these. Actually, what should we start with? What would be the starting point? I was going to fire right into the house stuff, but
What's important? Just what does
well,
we went to the Weathered Spoon to find the author and to find information.
a chap by the name of Uchor Erik. He's I think he's from one of the minor families and fallen in hard times. He's always in the Witherspoon, Vanguard does a drinking motion. Sort of nods, Anyway, I've spoken to him before, and he seems to know a little about some of the strange occurrences and some of the history of this place. So,
So we are finding him at the Weathered Spoon, and this is where we are seeing the Fleabit drink a lot. The men seem to challenge Fleabit to drinking competitions.
And Fleabite won.
Sure.
look,
I see.
I'm not sure if winner was really. I don't think anybody actually won, yet no one lost in this competition.
Okay.
But we are finding out that this man, he used to be of powerful family, but not so much now. He loses his brother on the way to find the berries. But we also find from him information in regards to these families here in the Evershites. He tells us about the Optara family and the. Let me find Crap! I can't even read my own handwriting.
Calastris.
Calastris family.
Think
Ah,
of
that-
calamity and disastrous.
Yeah,
Calastrus.
It's not how I came up with it. I just had noises in my brain when I came up with that. But yeah, that's how I now think of it.
That's a good way to remember it.
Yeah.
Which I should probably write down.
Calamity, disastrous, Calastris. Yeah.
But that,
What about this Calastrus family?
their family sigil was of the wolves.
Well-
And they were teaming up with the Thecate. Wait, did they team up? Oh, wait, my notes are kind of.
No, it was with they were working with Optera, apparently, in an attempt to sort of prevent Tanan family from rising to power. Obviously, with Tanan, successfully rising to power, those families are on the outs. So, allegedly, I don't know, he's my only source of this so far, but allegedly there's talk of a curse in these families. A curse specifically on the Calastris family related to their house emblem of the wolf, which was to turn them into wolves. So the rumour goes. And he said a similar curse would have been placed on Upterra line if there were any of them left. But as far as he's concerned, the last of them, Chiro Terra, died in a duel with one insert first name here.
Iscanros.
Iscanus Thaki, the father of a certain Miss Abyss. Fucking Abyss. Abyss
That's your middle name. How dare you? Isis.
Whatever. It is the librarian. Anyway, his lady friend.
Isa Obama Thaki. There you go.
Body with a mouthful of.
So what we now have is a connection between the K and Optera, the duel which led to the death of the allegedly last of the line.
Mhm.
We know that supposedly the last of the line, had he lived, would likely have been, or so the rumour goes, cursed to be a bat. We know there was something to do with an unwanted attempt at gaining the hand of the lady in marriage that led to the bad blood between the houses. So that suggests that we have a good place to start looking for anything that involves the Optera family line, which is Thaki, because they inherited many of their properties, including the library, where we got some of the initial information about Line. So clearly, some of their documents remain. If they've thrown anything out, they've not thrown everything out. We've retained some of the Optera records. I'm sure there will be many things that aren't relevant. I'm starting to think we may need to get a look in at the library without the lovely Miss Thaki as our guide.
So we are maybe planning this later today. Actually, maybe after breakfast, we go to library, we try and, or rather, I will try and distract her, giving you the opportunity to sneak around.
Let's just go while you're on your date.
Or we can do this.
Yeah, that was my I have to agree with you. Plus, if it's later on in the day, maybe it will be less busy.
How will we get in? It'll probably be locked.
When I am meeting the lady, I can try and see if I can get you keys. Otherwise, I believe the flea beat might be able to help with this.
Oh,
I wouldn't. I don't know about trying to get a key, because if we do anything, that might arouse suspicion.
That is true.
Fleabag, what are you doing at this moment? Because they've mentioned a lot about a House of Wolves. A lot. And I love that you always stay quiet when they talk about that.
Well, I just don't think they need to know much. If part of helping people that helped me is keeping their secrecy,
Mhm.
a secret shared is not a secret.
Okay.
It's more, I think, Fleabag would perk up and say that. Yes, locked door is not a problem for Fleabag.
Hmm. We are, of course, still no closer to finding the package, and we are not able to travel back to cave in time for seeing the Lortonins. But we are still working on things. Tell me, Xerxes, what has been happening to you?
Wait, how much time do we have left? How many days?
They were giving a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How many days has it been?
This is day 4.
Day 4. Okay.
Yes.
So if we left now on horseback, we would be fine, right?
Yeah. Technically, if you left on the 5th day, right? You
Yeah.
travel on the 5th day. Let's assume there is no issue, and you pick up a box.
Yeah.
And let's
In
assume-
perfect condition.
And let's assume it is the box. And
Yeah.
let's also assume you get back in a day as well. You've still then got a day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we have time.
So I'll give you all a day 7 as well. You know.
Thank you.
We can assume day 8 is the you've already failed the quest day.
Okay.
Day 8 is probably the wedding day.
Day 8 is us running out of the city looking for a place called Bars.
I mean, we can do that on day 4 as well.
We could.
It's just on day 8, it's Fleabag wearing a wedding dress that's funnier about that scene.
Oh, I'm willing to take day 8 then.
It's worth it. So yeah,
It does own a dress.
Of course he does.
Xerxes, what was your reply to them?
Well, I got to speak with Lord Tonin.
Oh, you are seeing the Lord. How are you?
Yeah. I was trying to secure passage via airship.
Oh, why are you trying to go up to the air? You and the Lord, the Richter, did not get on well too well, did you?
He'll come around eventually. But the
Why can I see your dead hard mom? Yeah, he'll come around. Yeah.
I was trying to get a passage to the back to the cave through Rune.
Ah, I see what you are doing. And how did it go?
It could have gone better. It doesn't seem Tonin really likes me.
You seem
Oh,
to have
dear.
the effect on peoples.
Me and people in power, we just clash sometimes.
Please tell, what did he say?
That he wanted to hire me in his wedding, potentially.
That doesn't sound quite so negative, but
And not to use his name ever again. Or he'll kill me. Something about that.
Oh,
that
Please.
does. That
how
does.
are you using his name?
I was trying to find a passage to the airship. I told his guards that I worked for him.
I'm
Why didn't
seeing
you just say you were a subcontract?
That's complicated and probably too much thought for the guards.
But if
Poor
this is
John
something-
Gateman's 2 unnamed friends.
I mean,
There's
I
one
know
that-
the villages around here are pretty destitute, and I assume my education is not that good, but I mean,
Yeesh.
Well,
Hmm.
you are our local expert. This is why you are here. So if you are thinking the guards could not cope with the interaction of
I
the
trust your
subcontractor,
judgment.
Ah,
Thank you.
Adair continues to eat
Mhm.
and very nervously chews, kind of like, what the fuck?
Mhm, mhm.
Oh,
So
We have.
Yes, that was the extent of our relationship now. Mine and Tonan's.
Well, here's a question actually. I've been wondering about. You're really. So, we were introduced to you through Theo. We were introduced to you through Cass.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And Theo is whereabouts?
Probably off doing administrative things, as he always does.
Where would he be doing these things?
You have to ask him.
So, not in his office?
Potentially. Wherever he goes, he goes. Why do you ask?
Adair just looks towards Wagner. Oh, chewing food.
Vanger, please. Sorry. No, I will sort of scratch at his beard a bit. Well, the thing is, we happened to pop by as we'd been trying to get in touch.
Bye.
Yeah, we popped by the building where we had previously met.
That place. The
It does-
abandoned place that they call their house or their headquarters.
Well, yes. I think
Yeah.
that was
That was Theo's idea. Make us look a little bit more official.
I see. So not actually a building that they use.
Well, we use it occasionally when it suits us.
Where would you normally?
Where he tells us to meet.
And Adair's
Not
just,
very, not very official. Yes, yes. If Blue Wind thing can break into, yes, yes.
Well, they
Adair
did
chokes on food a wee bit.
breaking in, but Look,
What?
let's cut to the chase. There have been some strange happenings about yourself.
About me?
Right, so I know that I in character have been wondering for a while if maybe something on there that wasn't entirely these separate people. But do I know enough to be sure of what I am sure of out of character?
why don't you list the in-game non-meta knowledge that you're using to make this judgment call to me just now?
Yeah, that's a fair point if
Yep.
we think through it. So, I'm not going to say this all in character.
No, don't. I just
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
just
Alright, so
listen to me.
the
Yeah.
key thing would be the fact that they're never around together,
Mhm.
right? That
Like
right
like
away
me and
is-
Batman. Yep.
Yes. There's the business with, because I have some vague idea about that.
Now hold on a second as well. I don't know if the stream
Cynthia
is
thing?
caught up, but let's just double check.
Like, I don't think
Is that? Yep. It's a
Ranger-
Batman logo, and they're there. Yep. Just so you know on stream, there you go.
It's not a.
Vanger fully understands the situation. He knows at least something was going on with like an accusation of going around impersonating his mum.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, that would potentially lead towards, at the very least, magical disguise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if either of those things would changeling, but there's also just the fact that he's a tiefling, and no one seems to be like, oh, you know, you know, Zarks is the one tiefling in town. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he just feels like he would stand out, and people aren't. You know, he's not someone that everybody. He would be the most noticeable of us all, probably, because, like, yes, there are no other Skaven, but he's still small and sort of dull-colored
And
wears a hood all
cloaked.
the
Yeah.
time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a dwarf. People have seen dwarfs. Yeah, a Genassi's pretty noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
I
But,
am
like,
bright blue.
I feel like there's just if he were really here all the time in this form, everyone would know.
Okay.
So
Well,
I don't know if any of that leads to changeling, but it certainly I think would be enough to lead him to thinking, is there some sort of element of magical trickery going on?
Yeah, I think there's definitely enough. I'd say with that evidence, there's enough. You're clearly suspicious, but I definitely don't think there's enough to say, oh, you're a changeling, because that would imply you knew what those were.
Yeah, which I don't know if I do.
No, you don't.
I don't? Oh,
No.
okay. That being the case, well, what was this business about impersonating mother? And
I mean,
yeah,
it sounds like potentially the person I met was impersonating, or was either his mom or potentially a person pretending to be his mom.
but he seemed to think it was you.
I don't have an answer. I don't know why he thought it was me.
Fleabite just staring at the conversation go by.
Well, yeah, I think Fleabite would just like, trying not to sound too Yoda is proving.
Great care must be taken. Yes.
That's good.
I think Fleabite would just say,
Yes. With great brood mother must care be taken. Yes.
What?
Sorry?
I think you lost us there, Fleabite.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, I know who he means, but Vanger doesn't have a fucking clue.
Yeah, Vanger's the least in the know about anything to do with Cynthia here. Adair should roughly remember Fleabite talking about Cynthia that way.
Yeah. But I think Adair, after hearing the changeling stuff, the
Disguise.
Adair's deep in thought about the disguise stuff, because there was that whole situation where,
You thought you saw yourself?
yes.
Mhm.
So there's just kind of like, what is going on this morning? I'm just eating my breakfast here.
What did we drink last night? Yeah.
Yeah. So Adair's a little lost, but also he does not have the intelligence. To
Well, does
figure
anybody
it
question? Did anybody question Fleabite saying broodmother then, if you aren't sure what he means?
Yeah, I just went, what?
Yeah, I said, I think you lost us.
Red thing. Yes. Must take great care not to become red thing past tense. Yes.
Thank you. Is my life in danger at the moment?
If you court chaos, chaos often court you. Yes.
You're talking of Cynthia.
I thought we left the Chaos Lady behind.
It seems
You know
some
something
of us,
about her.
Yes. Make more effort to find, speak, commune with her than others. Yes.
Some of us find.
He's saying you've made an effort to contact her more
Yeah,
than
yeah,
other
yeah.
people have. Yeah.
I just don't understand why. Yes, I suppose I have. I've seeked her out a few times. She's great company.
Adair
What
laughs
is
and
this?
failed flirting.
I didn't fail flirt. We got on all right.
Yeah, she didn't like disappear you or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
As far as I'm aware, I have all my limbs still and stuff. And
Man things make great company with wolf beast pets, but they can still eat true through many men. Yes.
I see. I'll be sure to be careful around her next time. Thanks, Fleabite.
Look at Fleabite looking out for you. What a nice
Yeah.
guy.
Seemingly very out of place for this conversation.
And then there's the rush of the door of the inn opening and closing quickly. And a slightly raised, almost out of breath voice talking to Madame Emerald at the lounge. Then he marches through the beats, as it were. Looks around, and I think 3 of you recognise Cantor Belem.
Oh,
Yay!
Who like
fancy seeing
walks through the
you.
beads and shakes them off. He goes, narrows his eyes and looks around and goes, "Yes, can we talk, friends?" And he looks very suspiciously at the red tiefling and looks to you guys, because obviously he doesn't know who this person is.
Of course, friend. Join us.
Yes,
Adair stands up, shakes his hand.
Yeah, and he very kind of briskly shakes your hand and nods. Got a bit of a beard on the go that he has, and then he looks down and he goes, "Yes, forgive me."
The Zark said.
Yes,
So
of
is
course.
that
And he nods and then he goes, "Warren Canty," he says with like a fake grin, and shakes your hand.
Can I insight that?
Sure.
Warren Canty it is!
Yeah, he's obviously practiced in the mirror a lot.
He's had to do it a few times. This
Yep.
month, you know.
And he kind of nods and he kind of looks at everybody with like slightly wider eyes at the table, and then says, "Is it forgive me, Mr. Azarxis, can I talk next to him? Bluntly, I'm pressed for time."
He's fine to talk.
Right. And he looks at you and he just kind of nods politely, like he understands that was rude, but he doesn't have time to be polite. And he looks and goes,
Just shake away.
And then he looks at it and goes, "I was wondering if I could press you all for some additional help. You see, I have word that a lot of the staff for the wedding are being moved into the Tonan estate tonight, and I was hoping to break in and get my sister out." And that's where we end the session.
Ooh.
Dun dun dun! So, we'd just like to call the session.
We didn't do it.
Skullduggery this session.
I found a fire.
Actually, I quite like that.
Oh dear. I think Starting Fires is not a terrible title, given everything that was said and planned. It's always a suggestion for subcontractors. Oh dear. Anything else suggestion-wise?
I like that.
Fire, that is good.
Is that too long though?
I mean, I don't know, it might fit. It might fit. Let me just double check what other titles we've had that are of length. Don't Look Back in Vanguard was fit, right? So
Yeah, we used Don't Look Back in Vanguard.
how dare you,
so-
Fleabite, have you met?
That was one of my favorite lines. Have you met Dylan?
Oh dear. Right, so carry on, and if it's going to be we didn't start the fire, I need those to be capitalised. So I can just copy paste it over without having to edit it.
Voted what?
Any other votes coming in, folks?
I'm gonna give a cheeky little.
It's the most accurate.
You
Why did you miss out the?
don't capitalize
No,
those.
well, you can, but yeah, generally
My format has been I've capitalised every word, and I feel like I'm not changing it now.
Well, then you go capitalize it.
And it's not going in. Yep, I'm that petty. I only did write the entire session, play every NPC, make sure you were actually awake for the session, that you weren't. So, yeah. Right, so, goals. Did any happen?
No.
No. Okay, so are we?
Can't every session be a winner?
This is true. So Thaki, Optera, Calastros, Tonan connection to box. We're keeping that. Still pursuing that.
I think we should. Yeah.
To explain it slightly more to Dylan other than just me dismissing it, it basically means they're trying to work out why MD would care about the box and who's connected to it and suspicious wise, etc. Is what that really means.
Yeah,
The ones
that
that
makes sense.
look at all that sort of jazz.
Yeah. Like, who would actually care about a box? Yeah. So you just want to keep that fine. Attempt to recover the box from the cave.
Yep.
Still on board with this plan? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Because I'm Fleabite and I want stuff. Could be Fleabite's box. Could be his new house. Yeah. Prepare for Barris. Still keeping it?
Yeah.
I would suggest we change that one.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I feel like we should have. There's scope for something, and I would look to the rest of the group's help to craft such a goal. But some
Okay,
goal.
sorry. I'll be right back real quick.
Okay.
Cantor Blem.
Mm. Yeah. Warren Canty's,
Yes.
secret mission.
And of all the goals that we have right now, prepare for Barris is like the most long term.
Yeah, that's true.
Like we might accidentally manage to do some of the other ones. But that one that we'll quickly do before the.
Yeah, it's almost like a new quest log page. Okay.
Helping Cantor, we can't really put that as a goal because we're going to do that anyway, so that's like an auto-complete
So
goal.
the thing is, it's not so much helping Cantor, right? That's the goal. That's part of it is, right? It's we know that obviously Warren Canty, aka Cantor Balem, clearly wants to get his sister out of that situation.
Mhm.
The thing is, you don't know anything about the sister.
Yeah, she could be dead, she could be vampire, she could be
Sorry, it's just I still love the vampire thing, but yeah, like she also could be willing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You know that thing, where she might be welcome back. Like she actually want to get married. Like that's something that.
Evershade and where she's going to be living.
Yeah, right. Like the Tonana Estate's bitching. Yeah.
Yes.
What's that? I'm going to be basically a queen of a city. Hell yeah.
And then brother's like, no, come back to the forge.
Yeah, right. Come back to that place where we own some businesses and are probably doing okay. So yeah, right. Like you've got that angle.
But also they're being invaded, so
Mm.
Evershade isn't.
Well, you don't know much about Torque
Yeah.
because it's Torque they're from, not little Bellinor. Yeah. Assumedly, it's under siege like everywhere else. The vague siege of, vagueness. But yeah, so I'd say you might want to look at that angle of it, right? Like not so much the help Cantor, because that isn't a goal, right? Because it is a binary state of we do or we don't help him, and then it's the success rate of that help that would be the challenge. But I think he's going to do this anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means if anyone can associate you guys with him, and then it goes badly, that's what to consider as well. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether you help him or not.
Well, then maybe it's a good thing not all of us are particularly associated with Lord.
Right? Coughs and Xarxes.
Technically, I am now. Who knows of me now?
Only if you say his name wrong, right?
If only there were some way around being recognisable to him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Truly,
Don't worry, I have
if only magic existed.
Mhm. Like Skywrite, that'd be a great way around these problems. Sarah, are you
Oh, no,
okay?
no. The aliens are attacking.
Oh dear. It's like, no, that's just Vondra's ship. So yeah, like what's the thoughts on this? So if we prepare for Barris, in what way do you want to get involved with Cantor Balem? Wonderful Lord Balem. What's the
So like
thoughts?
Fleabite is all on board.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
yes.
And the best thing is-
If it's screwing over Tone and Zarkus is on board.
Okay, so Fleabite's on board, and has broken out already, thanks to
Yes,
Hugh
exactly.
Hugh Jackman. And then Adair has a nat 20 banked for the Tonan estate. And Xarxes doesn't like Lord Tonan because he was told off for using his name illegitimately.
Yeah.
So Vanguard, where do you fall on the?
To be honest, Vanguard doesn't really give much of a shit either way. No, that's not quite true. Obviously, he's concerned that this person may be.
Mhm.
He's also generally not inclined to like Tanan.
Mhm.
But on the other hand, he did agree to employment from him.
Mhm. Yeah.
He thinks he's a stuck-up rich dick, but he's not actually seen any of wrongdoing yet. So very ambivalent, I think, is the answer.
We can definitely take from that meeting Xerxes had with him that he's definitely a stuck-up rich dick, right? Yeah, he's definitely one of those entitled brat children, you know.
I forgot how much he was.
How much what? Sorry.
Because he was how much of a dick he was. Like,
Well, it was way back when you joined us, right? That you met him
yeah,
briefly.
yeah, yeah.
So
That's Theo.
yeah, but remember,
Even
like
Theo didn't like him.
the first thing that happened was-
he doesn't
yeah.
like you.
and it's obviously just the the Dylan character persona that's built, right? That obviously you change the name of occasionally. It's clearly still the same driving force behind the faces that you're wearing, and thus he's obviously just put off by that person. The true,
By
you know,
me.
yeah, but the character you're really playing, that's playing other characters, that middle bit, because he doesn't know Dylan, you know. But also remember the first thing I did was like be really friendly to Fleabite and then send him out of the room, then go wipe his hands on a hanky and burn the hanky. So like, yeah, his tone was set very early on. But yeah, like ultimately, in what way would you like to help or dismiss Cantor Balem? What's the plan? Are we going to go along with let's help the guy infiltrate the place to liberate / kidnap his sister?
Like successfully infiltrate the Tonan estate.
Okay. To do what when you're there? Because I think it'd be good to have the whole plan roughly laid out on how far you are willing to go. Because are you willing to kidnap a woman?
Yes.
Okay, Dylan,
No.
are you? Yeah, right. So we know where Gregor sit. Okay. By the woman I mean Sarah, the sister.
Yes.
Cantor's
Fine,
sister.
not just any female.
Yeah.
Just any-
I mean, it sounds more like a rescue mission, I guess.
Okay.
And we are still screwing over Tonin.
Yep.
And I have a pretty good getaway car.
Okay.
Swap persona.
Become Sarah. Yeah.
Becomes Oh, Alme!
Oh, can you imagine?
Oh,
can
shit.
you imagine when you got married to him and then you revealed you were the two people he hates? That'd be funny. But yeah.
Holy shit, can we do this?
Oh,
I
dear.
can spin this as if like I'm just doing a major illusion on myself.
So our new goal is to infiltrate Xerxes as the bride to be.
It sounds like infiltrate the wedding now, is what it's.
We're infiltrating Xerxes. Yeah.
Oh
How
dear.
lewd.
So, what's the plan, guys? Though, let's make this briefer, shall we?
Infiltrate or help him infiltrate to find out if what the situation regarding between Sarah and
Okay, so you want to basically go and get clarity from Sarah about how she feels about the whole situation. Really?
That does seem wise.
Okay, so that sounds more like that goal you've had before. It sounds exactly, in fact, like that goal, which was did it just get deleted? Did it not go back into the ideas pile? The one about the wedding and the coercion?
Yep.
Because
Yeah, I think it.
apparently it got deleted. It wasn't put back in the ideas pile because I can't see it anymore, unless I just cannot see it. But it sounds like that exact goal.
Yes.
So, I guess try to rescue Sarah is the goal. Or find out if Sarah wants rescued? Question mark. Something like that.
Try to rescue Sarah sounds good. We're probably going to get more information from Conan.
Conan, yes. Conan turns up for the wedding. He was invited. He's head chef.
Of course, there's no one better.
Yeah.
After the film, we had to do something.
Conan the Delicatessen. Anyway, please continue before I make terrible jokes again.
Yes. So we'll find out more information from Cantor. Cantor.
Cantor,
Next
yeah.
week. Cantor. Like what information he's been able to find out and whatnot. But yeah, I'd say rescue Sarah.
Okay. Rescue Sarah. I don't mind if you have rescue Sarah / does she want rescued? I don't mind if you have that.
Yeah. Rescue Sarah if she wants.
Because I want to have it where you need to kidnap her to complete that goal if she decides that you get definitive clarity from her that she's happy to stay. Right?
I mean, any rescue can become an assassination if you try hard.
It's true.
Also,
Any
if you
rescue
train enough assassins as well, Fleabite, as you recruit Falcon.
Oh, there's a new goal.
We'll get to the personal goals in a second. If you teach a child to kill, you'll solve overpopulation right earlier. So, any other goals to be changed? Because I don't see any goals changed yet. Because prepare for Barris still seems to be there. Yes. So who is changing that goal? And are there any others to change? That's my questions. Going once, going twice.
I will change it. I will change it.
Okay, cool. Okay, right, so is everybody else happy with finding out what the package was and enlist Utu or Erik to help with the Barris quest? Everybody happy with those two? Or are we changing them? Or is there going to be, like, loot everything valuable from the Tonan estate in pursuit of the Sarah quest? Like, I mean, I know your gang, so...
all the stuff and put it into one corner.
Put Noah's stuff in one pile and put Glint's stuff in another pile. Yep. Oh dear. Well, we know where Fleabite's going in that case. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I take it we're keeping those in, finding out what the package is, and enlisting Utur because everybody's staying quiet. Yeah. It seems okay. Cool.
I said that was.
Yeah, I know you did, buddy. I know you did. We also just had a quiet Xerxes. That was all. So
I'm eating. My food showed up.
I see. Right. So goals then. Personal ones. Adair.
Yeah.
You keeping yours, buddy?
I will because my date's the next bloody time.
So here's the thing, though.
Oh no.
Did you not listen to what Cantor said? It's tonight. They're changing the staff. Yeah.
So I can either go on the date and impress Lady Thaki, or I can totally patch her, send her the tickets, and help.
Go chase another woman. Yeah, go chase Sarah. Lady Sarah. Yeah. Or
Do you really want Adair on the
the one with the cursed to roll 20 luck. He is a rogue, though. He is a rogue. And he does have a nat 20 banked. He does have a nat 20 banked.
I have one banked.
Which is going to be the best thing to decide when you use the I get to skip the roll 20 bad luck part. The other thing to say is, you don't know how Lady Thaki feels about the Tonans. What if you change the date and make it an exciting kidnapping?
Oh, like get her to help. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, there are ways to marry things together if you roll well enough.
Yeah, if I
Perfect
roll
dice.
I don't know, I just think that you just don't know how she feels about the Tonans, right? And the idea that a Tonan man has kidnapped a woman to marry might not sit well with her.
especially with her history of people trying to.
Exactly, especially with the fact that the Optera house wanted her hand in marriage to become Lady Optera. Yeah.
I have the theatre tickets, don't I?
Yeah. And it's one ticket for a box. Yes.
No. I will go see her and I will try and convince her to help us with the Sarah situation.
Interesting. So do you want to put that as your goal?
Okay.
So instead of impress, it's convince Lady Thaki to help Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you. You tell me.
I'm thinking because I want to hear what I'm going to say Conan again. I want to
Yep,
hear what
Conan. Yep.
Conan has in mind.
Yeah, Conan the delicatessen. Yep.
Because I'm sure he's got a plan.
Sure.
So we
He's
might
always
have
had one before. Yeah, you know he's capable as well, right? He's obviously just came hurrying and looking for you guys to be like, right, I've clearly, now's the time to make a move. ... Right, okay, Xarxes, your personal goal?
Uh,
How
not
well?
as good as anything, other than maybe get revenge.
Oh. Against who though at this point? There's a lot
Dare,
of
that
candidates,
son of a
yeah.
bitch. I'm just kidding. Actually, yeah, let's do get some sort of petty revenge on Tonin.
Okay. I feel like petty revenge isn't a goal though.
Is it not?
Yeah, like I feel like it needs to be something challenging because like literally just spray painting the side of a house saying Tonan's a dick is like petty revenge. So, there needs to be some form of challenge involved in that. What do you like? What's your idea of petty revenge? And we'll see how I feel about it as a goal.
Getting him to marry me instead of.
That's petty to you?
Yeah, like wow.
Maxis is a very creative man.
Interesting. Okay. I feel like the goal isn't petty revenge, but convince Tonan to marry me instead.
I mean, I don't know if that's what we'll actually do. It'll kind of greatly depend on what our plan becomes.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
Deface Lord Tonin somehow.
Okay. Okay.
Burned out as a stay?
So yeah, like if you want to have like deface Lord Tonan, right? Obviously, I will explain as we go how things are appropriately severe or not. If it's met challenge level worthiness of a goal, if you wish
Yeah, and
that,
if it's not, it's not.
it's fine. We'll deal with that as and when.
Skywrite to Nan.
Yeah, if only he had that spell. So, Fleabite, you have found out how to make signature unique potion poison. That might come in handy if you do
I
that.
was going to change it, then I thought, oh wait, I might actually have time to do something with that.
I mean, you've got a day, right? Ultimately.
Yeah.
Well, until the evening at least, in that vague sense. So you want to keep yours?
I do.
And then Vanguard.
I want to keep mine.
Cool. Sure. No, good. It's fine. That was nice and simple. Yeah, perfect. Dylan, I'm gonna edit yours to have an H in it. There we go. There's 2 H's on
Thank you.
You're welcome. And everything else up to date here? I think it is, right? So we've got Rescue Sarah if she wants. Perfect. It's a perfect way to write that. Thank you. Beyond that, then, wrap up chat time if that's the case, if we're done with goals. Wrap up chat time. Do you want to start us off? Fleabite, why not?
It's fun. Always, I do love just how much Xarxes and figures of authority is on.
Which is funny.
Yeah, it's like it actually mirrors a lot about sort of what I think with Fleabite, that he hates big authority but doesn't have the elocution or intelligence to get that across in his actual conversations and dealings. So I like that there's other people in the party sort of similar.
Yeah, you get to live vicariously through them. It's nice.
Kinda, yeah. Then just getting to talk with the Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
I do kind of want, like, I basically figured it was either try and be friendly or be like just super mean, like biter or something. But the main reason that I chose to be a bit more friendly is that she's an urchin. That's
Mm-hmm.
literally my character background.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope there probably some things that
Your new apprentice,
I
basically.
mean, she did seem to understand Fleabite so easily, instinctually, compared to anybody else. Or she just went, yeah, okay, to whatever you'd said, regardless. So, yeah, I quite enjoyed that. That was a fun conversation to have, to be honest, because it's probably is the closest person from like a class level that's similar to Fleabite. Adair does dress himself up as a noble.
What do you mean it dresses himself up?
You heard me.
So I suspect in the future there may be some more interactions and feelings that the Emerald does not.
Yeah, with poor Falana. Yeah. Oh, no, good.
But I really liked it. She's got claws and they're bad enough.
Yeah, it's good. Definitely good.
I am excited to get more of. Like, I don't know why, but he has been one of like my favorite NPCs.
It's so random. Just a guy looking to save his sister from something she might not want to be saved from. Yep. Yeah.
Mercy killings. It's a type of savior.
Yeah. Sure. Fair. Good.
So I'm very much looking forward to coming salt filtration.
Yeah. It'll be something. I'm excited to see what happens. And of course, it would be on the night of the date. Annoyingly. So beautifully segueing into Adair.
Yeah, so tonight was great. I like how we just left that guy in the building.
And the house are going to be busy all day.
Yeah, so we'll just leave him a wee note and some money. He won't talk. It's fine.
Oh, you could bring him with you on like the heist. Like,
Oh, that'd be brilliant! Like a great distraction technique.
yeah, like right. So you're now a chef, am I? Yeah, just go in, just walk with these people, and then as soon as you cause a ruckus when be outraged when they say that you're not obviously on any of the staff lists. Yeah, there you go. There's a perfect plan for Utior.
Suddenly it popped into my head. We'll get him on board to get into the Tanan estate, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I've got keys for it. It used to be my house. We'll just walk." Yeah, here's the back door, and we just walk in and out, easy peasy.
Yep. Utior Eureka's his middle name, and his last name's Tunan. Yeah.
Yep.
Amazing.
No, but not good game as always. I feel like we're getting there. It's like I know it sounds strange, but I think we got distracted introducing new people.
Okay. Yeah. Fine.
If that makes sense.
Mhm.
So we're always like, right, we need to do this now. But no, I'm glad we're kind of just getting on with it, I guess. Is the right way to-
I mean, arguably, right? You kind of know where A-Box may still be.
Yes.
And I love that nobody's specifically going for that. That's my favourite part of this.
I think
think I was.
we're going to lose time. We don't want to split the party again. It's
So,
like,
right, see, just because I add more things to the world doesn't mean to say you need to stop with your original plans. I'll just put that out there, right? Even though, Warren Canty's running, you just kind of go,
Side
any chance you want to help us out with a box problem first, mate? Like,
What do you mean? Hey, look, a butterfly.
yeah. Squirrel. Yep.
see, get distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, really enjoying it, and
Good.
still enjoying it. Still glad I'm here.
Yeah, me too. It's been fun. It's been mad, to be perfectly honest. And it's still
not a good
kind of weirdly on track somehow in my book, but here we are.
We're closer to bars, even though it doesn't exist.
We're closer to the wedding, which is nice.
Arxis is now going to be the bride.
I mean, yeah, things evolve.
I love the idea of it.
It's Fleabite getting married to Glint, Xerxes getting married to like Noah. Just infiltrate the Tonan fortune.
Everyone's getting married apart from Adair. That's fine.
I mean, don't know, if it goes well with Thaki, right? So just make sure you've made your new Roll20 account for next week. So you've got better dice luck. But yeah.
Might actually do that. Yeah.
Anything else, buddy?
No, that's everything, bud. That's just good game as always.
There you go. Vanguard. Assuming you're still with us and not muted. There we
I
go.
am.
Perfect. Welcomes.
Yes. Yeah, no, it was a sort of chatty one again.
Mhm.
No, I always enjoy. I think we maybe did get somewhat distracted, sort of trying to. We were also a little bit short of this session,
Mhm.
but yeah, we kind of got maybe a little bit of analysis paralysis, as
Mhm.
because yeah, we do kind of have pressing stuff that we could be getting on with. So, big yawn, sorry. So maybe it'll be, I don't know, maybe it is worth splitting the party to do that. I think the Warren Canty return does kind of pose that question. Yeah, like we have like 3 things we want to do within the next year, right?
Mhm.
Ideally, we would like a deer. Ideally, we'd like to go and stay, obviously, but
Yeah.
ideally, we would like to, we probably
I
want to help out.
Changed
Canty.
I changed it. So
You did change it?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But I think it's like, yeah, there's tension there. Also, this ticking clock aspect where we kind of do think that box might be it, right? So
Mhm.
probably should go and check it. So I think we may have not used our D as we could have.
It's still only morning.
It's afternoon, but yeah.
But
Time
yeah,
shrug. Yeah. Mhm.
it was sort of like a catching up, piecing things back together,
Mhm.
getting every
Mm-hmm.
Mostly a Falcon development episode as well.
yeah, with
Mhm.
a little bit of interaction there, with and with Xarxus, and also we got a little bit more of Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
Um,
Stobart, do you mean?
Charlton Stobart, yeah.
Yeah, Charleston
I
Stobart.
sort of remembered his name, but wasn't.
David
quite
Warner is who I based him on, so yeah.
I will never remember who that is. So anyway,
It's fine.
yeah, and obviously we got a little bit of interaction with Lord Tanan again.
Mm.
So yeah, a bit more insight into his character, which does seem to be just an awful dick, which maybe lends a bit of credence to the kidnap theory.
Mm.
But then again, we're confronted once again with a infiltrate this estate,
Mm.
and the Tanan estate is going to be more difficult, surely. So I do think that maybe creates the question of, do you want to split the party so that those of us who are perhaps more equipped for subterfuge and intrigue are going to the estate.
So not Vanger.
Yeah, because Vanger is hopeless at that sort of thing, right? Mechanically, right? Let's dwell on it out of character a little second. Mechanically, I have absolutely zero benefit to stealth. I have absolutely no abilities beyond shape shifting.
I was gonna say, yeah, counterpoint, you can shapeshift.
Right.
Yeah.
But shapeshift gets you in the window, and then you're like a bird, or you're in the window and then you turn back into a raggedy dwarven priest, right?
Okay, so how many levels of dwarf are you currently?
What?
How many dwarf levels do you have? And by that I mean druid.
Druid?
Yes.
Yep.
I currently have 2.
Right, so if you're two druid, right? Is the wild shape thing based on level or druid level? Let's see. So, starting at 2nd level, you can use your action to magically assume the shape of a beast that you've seen before. You can use the feature twice. You gain expended
Equals
uses after a
half the
short.
druid level,
It does very.
there.
Yes, it's very specifically your druid level. And I love this. Example is no flying or swimming speed, but an example is a wolf.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I can't yet transform into an actually useful infantry. I suppose I could transform into something very small, but that doesn't help getting back out.
I mean, arguably, you could hold on to a stone as a small thing. Fleabite could then sling you in, and just hope you don't die.
Yeah, that's
Or go with something small, go into Fleabite's bag of holding.
or just go with something small and just go in, right? That's also.
There's also just
If you get caught once you're in there, you're the priest for the wedding.
Yeah, the thing is, they would know I wasn't
Why?
because well,
You've
they
got
would expect it to be a
credentials.
priest that they have booked and not.
A shabby nature dwarf that's covered
Yeah,
in like
like
shrubbery.
I think they're probably expecting
The
that.
latest thing.
Yeah, it's called a
Like, I-
humanist wedding.
From a more of a character perspective as well, like Vanger's really not the sneaky type. I have a hard time seeing how he's useful here unless it literally is just we just need to get in. And if we just need to get indoors, fine. I can turn into a stoat, run in a window. Right, I can do that. That is an option. But then it's okay. How do I get everyone else in? What do I do while I'm in there? Do I just like run to the nearest door and open that? If I get seen, I'm going to be immediately identifiable either as a stoat or as Vanger. Right? Like that's the. I don't see him as being well suited to that. So
Not
I'd
to
be
add
very
to the
happy
convolution, right? But Fleabite could offer you his collar to fake wear if Fleabite thought that far ahead. I'm not saying that this is a good plan or that you should go with any of the. Like, I agree, you are a bad choice on a stealth mission. But
Oh yeah.
at the same time, Fleabite has that broken collar, which would at least make somebody look like they should be in there. Right?
That's fair.
So there's
I'm
that.
also thinking Wagner takes Xerxes' violin and really distracts the guards at the front of the building.
By hitting them with the violin. What?
That's what I was thinking.
Just try to play it. It's
Magnum.
terrible, but it looks like a busker kind of thing, and that distracts all the guards, so as we can get an even better in and out.
I feel like that sacrifices Vanger quite quickly in this game of bad chess.
The concern I have here is that like how
Yeah,
do
but
I just
He has a
not
lot of
get, like,
utility as a
trust
druid
the
and a
leader?
cleric, right? He has a lot of utility just being those classes combined. That is something to not dismiss out of hand, because you are mighty useful with the sheer scope of spells you'd have access to. And obviously we can handwave some of the bullshit of you would have went through a long rest to pick your spells. So there will be at least 8 hours beforehand if you had to change some spells, so I don't mind you adjusting some of it based on the now knowledge, you know? Since both your druid list and your cleric lists get changed every long rest, if you wish. So you do have the scope to look at slightly more helpful spells for this if need be.
Sure.
Which is lucky as a spellcaster of your nature.
Yeah.
But, again, don't do something that Vanger wouldn't do. That makes the most sense, right?
I feel like absolutely that's the sort of mission he'd get on. I just don't think it fits his skill set
Mhm.
or personality. Like
Mhm.
the goal, absolutely, but yeah, like unfortunately, the only thing is that of course, like with there being 4 of us, 2 and 2 does leave either side being kind of short-handed.
Yeah, which is maybe why you shouldn't split.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Splitting was bad before and you've had more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could always try and get Von Rune on board.
But then I don't see. I don't see
On you go.
I don't see having the extra body in the estate.
Mm.
Like, I don't see how that helps.
Mm.
Other than to add another person who's like, okay, let's say we do.
Well, one person could be a distraction
Stobar
in
or
town,
whatever.
right? You could get Stobard out of town. Maybe you could try and get Tunan out of this estate, right? Who knows, right? You could try and get somebody off to like the Emerald Inn for a chat again. Depends where you feel people's skill sets lie, but you can have obviously no point trying to work that out now. You may as well have the week to think of that as a team. You're all in a chat together, so you just can try and like hash that out. Anything else to add in your wrap up side of things?
No. Yeah, sorry, I
It's okay.
went on a tangent there.
It's still valid concerns though. It's good to let your teammates know where your concerns as a player lie. Going, I'm not built for this thing you're throwing me at.
Yeah,
It's
well,
fair.
I do feel like there is a concern there.
This is the same thing as whatever they talked about in Star Wars before infiltrating Jabba's palace when they lied to the droids, you know? A gift, this dwarf, you know? There you go, Lord Tunan.
There we go.
See?
We brought a gift.
Yeah, sorted. Speaking of terrible ideas, Xerxes.
Speaking of terrible ideas,
I then paused
Wow.
and then said Xerxes.
The pause was
Well, just so everyone knows, I am built for this sort of mission that we're about to go on. But as far as the session goes, it was fun. Like I said, I completely forgot how much of a dick Tonin was. So it's nice to be reminded.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed our little back and forth with Lady Emerald and Xerxes.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure to see Falcon
Mhm.
being the best Falcon she can be.
Soon her wings will spread. Oh.
No, I think just about everything else has been touched on. It was fun.
Good.
I like that we are like slowly getting to like our like original plot, which is not the original plot, mind you, but it's progress.
Yep.
getting there.
Yeah. What's an original plot these days anyway? Like. Psh.
And I'm very much looking forward to the time when I can actually tell the party that I'm a changeling, like, so that I can use my changeling abilities at will.
I mean, yeah, like you could still use them more freely without going into how you can do it, because magic is always a great explanation.
I literally just thought of the idea of explaining it away as like major illusion or something. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's magic.
Sure, yeah, like obviously you do have some skilled spellcasters, looking at the three of them. So might be a bit of a hard sell if they just notice that you're not casting anything of the School of Illusion. But sure, yeah, like you definitely could bluff a lot because you're a very good bluffer. So yeah, like you don't need to go into here's everything on my character sheet. It could just be I can do this. Let's not go into it. I don't ask you what you pray to at night. So that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got some interesting goals, some
That's
interesting
a
cross
bit better at
purposes.
that.
It's okay, yeah. Keep in mind you can always outsource ideas. Like you've got a player level to discuss that and a character level, so don't feel afraid to use the player level. Much like Colin's done a few times, where he said, "So guys, what should we do here, or what should I be saying here, or what am I aiming at?" So it was a healthy tool to utilise. I'm excited to see what happens, given that obviously another thing's got in the way of the Thaki romance plot. It's good. I'm excited to see how that plays out. Can't wait to see what you do to either the library, the Tonan estate, the theatre, or the Thaki estate. All these things are at risk. Like that everybody's enjoying Falcon. That's fun. Because
There's always an NPC you adopt.
yeah, and damn it, I will make sure that the child actors of this show are at least worth watching. Even if certain other things, like say for example, completely randomly, the Phantom Menace casting was terrible. But yeah, we'll see. And other such things. Anything else, buddy?
No, I think that was about it.
Cool. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.
Oh.
Bye-bye.